Good morning, Raptor Freaks. Lexi Otts here, and I'm out at the cottage. You could say wherever I'm at. Maybe I'm in Kansas today. That's where I feel like I'm at because the newest Raptors are both from Kansas, baby. But we ain't in Kansas no more. We're in that Raptor red, just like Gradey Dick did last night, a 13 pick last night. Holy crap. Wow. Listen, on our spreadsheet from yesterday, I'm not going to give it to Nameless because he said everyone else. This was a known quantity that we knew could get drafted. So an unknown pick was not that. So Nameless, you're not getting the 5 dunks. In fact, I've decided I'm going to give the 5 dunks to Naco the Nacho. Naco the Nacho was a big proponent for Gradey Dick this whole time in this process moving up. He was saying Gradey Dick, and he even said it a little bit yesterday, even though he picked Case and Wallace yesterday. So I am officially going to give the 5 dunks in the competition from yesterday to Naco the Nacho for being a Gradey Dick supporter and somebody that was saying his name quite a lot in the weeks to come up to the draft. So, Gerald, you get the 5 dunks in the contest yesterday, even though nobody technically said Gradey Dick yesterday. That was the pick. Wow. Listen, things are going to get a little unserious with our team now. This kind of a pick is very good for team chemistry and culture. If we were having trouble with the vibes on our team last year, well, Darko was a good first step in the right direction. He's going to be real good for the vibes. Well, the vibes are going off the charts now with the drafting of Gradey Dick. I'm telling you, this guy is not totally serious. He's a little bit of a goofy guy. And that might be really good for our team. In some ways, he may be part of the locker room, like fun, that helps these guys stay loose and feel real good around the team. I'm very happy about this pick for that reason. Now, am I fully confident that Gradey Dick is going to be a great NBA player? No, I'm not. I still have the eye test that I did where I was like, I don't know if this guy's going to make it. And I'm really worried about that to a degree. You know, they picked him right before Jordan Hawkins and a couple of other players that we were very much interested in looking at. Like right after him, it went Jordan Hawkins, Kobe Buffkin, Keontae George, Jalen Hood, Shafino, right in a row. So there is going to be a little bit of this factor in the years to come where people are going to be kind of second guessing Gradey Dick over Jordan Hawkins or one of those other guys that I just named. I really hope that it doesn't matter. I think that Gradey is the right pick, and I know that I didn't like him. And even though I didn't say I would draft him, well, I got to trust in Bobby Masai. And I want to be an example for other people in Raptors Nation that don't get what you want. I was very against drafting Gradey Dick, but I realized I don't know more than Bobby and Masai. They saw him in person. They talked to him in person. They met him, and they know more about him than I do. And, well, I'm going to trust in them that this is the right person. In fact, you know, he was speculated to go in the top 10. Well, he fell to 13. And it could be, like Bobby said in the press conference after the draft, that he was in a group by himself above the guys that we were all looking at that I just named. So in some ways, he was like already kind of in a tier ahead of the guys that we were kind of looking at. So that's probably why they took him, because in their eyes, he was the most talented available at that time for them to draft. I'm not hating the pick. And I'm also going to show as an example, even though it wasn't somebody that I thought they should pick, I'm going to go with it and trust in them. And I wish more Raptors people in Raptors Nation could follow my lead and be like, you know what? It wasn't exactly what I thought was going to happen or I would have done. But you know what? I'm going to trust them and see how it pans out instead of like just coming out down on them ahead of time and nothing's been shown yet, whether it's a good pick or not. So it's like, I want him to succeed. That's the other thing. Just because I wasn't endorsing Gradey Dick, just because I wasn't high on him for us to be drafted, I'm not going to turn my back on him and say I don't want him to do well just because of my own ego. No, fuck that. I want him to be amazing. I want him to be absolutely the best NBA player he can be. And I don't care that I didn't like him coming in and then I said that he shouldn't draft him. My ego is not involved in this. And there's another way I can be an example for Raptors Nation at this moment. It's like last year or 2 years ago, everybody got bent out of shape over Scottie Barnes over Jalen Suggs. Well, let's not do that this year. I'm not going to do that in this situation. I wanted Jordan Hawkins. Well, they picked Gradey Dick, and I'm not upset about it. I'm like, okay, they know better than me. They want Gradey Dick. Well, let's see how it goes. And I'm not going to be a hater where I'm like, oh, I hope he fails, so I'm right. See, this is how to be a good Raptors fan, Raptors fans. You got to be going for the team to be successful no matter what. And Gradey Dick, I want you to be one of the most greatest three-point shooters in the history of the NBA. I really, really do want that at this point. Oh my gosh, it's going to be awesome. All right, let's see what y'all are saying this morning. We're going to have a little bit of a chat here in the country, out in the cottage, talking about Gradey Dick and another kid from Kansas who joined the Raptors last night. I'm very impressed with him. I'm going to tell you right now. Ooh, Marquis Nowell, look out. Seriously, this is the next Fred VanVleet coming up. But this guy is actually more of a point guard than Fred VanVleet. This man can throw oops like crazy. This man has really good passing skills, and he is a true point guard. And I'm excited to see if Marquis Nowell, who's very motivated, he's saying all the same things that Fred said when he came to our team as an undrafted player with a two-way contract. He said, anybody make a chance on me, you're going to really, really, really get rewarded for it. So you take a chance on Marquis Nowell, you are going to get rewarded for it. And that's 5'8". He's only 5'8", y'all. This is the thing. He's a little guy. He's just a little point guard. He's 5'8". But that's why he didn't get drafted. Well, he wants somebody to take a chance on him. Heart over height. Have we heard this before? Well, this guy is going to try and duplicate some of the things that Fred VanVleet did before him. And in some ways, I could see a path for him to be successful in this because he has got some crazy, amazing passing skills. And if there's one thing the Raptors need a little bit better is better passing, an unselfish kind of real point guard kind of guy. Well, this is what Marquis is. I'm very excited about it. Trevor J's here. Good morning, Raptor fans. Good morning to you, Trevor J. One of the best Raptor freaks here day in and day out. We appreciate you being here and your presence, Trevor, as always. Evelyn's here. Good morning, fam. Ooh, yeah. Good pick, eh? And that sequin jacket. Ooh, love it. He really is not in when he said Tirana. Okay, so she likes how he pronounced Tirana as Tirana. You know, Grady's being a little goofy already as being a Raptor just for not even 24 hours now. He's talking about how he needs to go see Drake right away. Well, he got the follow from Drake already, and he's saying he's got to, talk to Drake. He's all about some of the things that I'm kind of like, okay, you should be serious about basketball, but you're serious about making TikToks with Scottie. You're serious about becoming friends with Drake, maybe getting your name dropped in one of his lyrics. I can see where your priorities are in some ways, but this is fun, but come on, man, let's be a little more serious. I hope he's on a plane up to here right now. In fact, I hope he's in Toronto right now and that they are actually in the gym, all them together with Coach Darko and working on stuff right away. Get the ground running, Gradey Dick. Don't waste no time. This isn't Kansas anymore. As you put your sequin red coat that will be forever emblazoned in our brains with the brightness and flashiness of it, we will never forget your draft day fit, Gradey Dick. That is for damn sure. It is instantly put into the Raptors Hall of Fame nation. We're going to always remember what you wore that night. You're looking like Max Headroom, weirdness, very strange outfit. And Bobby Webster said he had two outfits for the draft yesterday, and that was the one he picked. You should have seen the other one, is what Bobby said. So this is really interesting. It's showing that they already had talked to him ahead, and they were really letting him know, if you're at 13, we're going to take you. So they had some input on him wearing red last night, and it fit real well. The red fit with the Kansas motif, but it also fit because that's a Raptors color. And when he put that red Raptors hat and he stood next to Adam Silver, that looked about right, didn't it? Yeah, it did. Even if he looks like some goofy kid from an 80s movie where he made something on a computer and it came to life like a woman, like Weird Science, that don't matter. This kid is like a legit shooter. He's got that flick wrist shot, just like Reggie Miller used to, just like Tyler Hero does now. And there's some things about that are very, very fun because it's a quick release. And he's very good high IQ shooter as far as getting his shot off and making it accurate. These are things we like. He really is one of the best shooters in this draft. And he had height. That is the difference between him and Jordan Hawkins. He's taller than Jordan. And in some ways, he may be more utilized better in defense in certain ways down the road. Not right away. Because once again, Gradey Dick is a project to a degree physically. His athleticism he's going to have to hit the weight room. Yeah, if he's going to have an NBA career for a while, he's going to have to hit the weight room. Now, people are trying to compare him. There's all comparisons are all stupid and crazy to JJ Redick. But in some ways, how is he JJ Redick? He's 4 inches taller than JJ Redick ever was. So in some ways, he's much more useful. One of the things Bobby really liked about Gradey Dick is his cutting. He cuts the basket really well. And specifically, this could be really nice thing with people like Pirtle and Scotty Barnes around hitting cutters, people that are just moving without the ball. And that is part of the jigsaw puzzle of him fitting with the Raptors is not only him being a good dead-eye three-point shooter, but he'll move off the ball and he'll be a good target for people to hit with cuts to get easy lay-ins and stuff like that. So there are some skills to him besides just the three-point shooting. But yeah, he's not going to be very serious. And I know he'll contribute and he'll do some good things for us right off the bat. I have confidence in Darko to use him and actually get him out there and get him to nail some threes. But we all need to temper our expectations with Gradey Dick because he is going to be a liability on the defensive end in certain ways. And we're going to have to figure out how to use him to hide those. And it's not going to be easy right away. So in some ways, I'm like not totally thrilled with the pick, but I'm glad they got a shooter. That's the most important thing with this is the Raptors got one of the best shooters in the draft yesterday. And that is very, very good. I love that. Trevor J saying auto fan base, already making fun of this guy's name. Listen, it's too easy. This is the lowest hanging fruit of any kind of comedy that you can make. In fact, we're not being serious today, partly because of Gradey's influence. So I'm going to go ahead and smoke on the air right now. I've never done this on my show. I'm outside. I'm in the country. And we're not being too serious today because Gradey just showed up. So why would I be serious, eh? Yeah, that's the stuff. Woo! Yeah, now we get more in a Brady Dick frame of mind, a little less serious about things. Yeah, there we go. I know Nameless and other people that like to smoke. Fun guy, my guy in 905. They'll be like, "Oh, Lex is smoking on the show today." Yeah, all right, let's keep going. Nameless is saying we got Larry Bird, baby. That man, if Grady could grow a throwback Larry Bird, like not very good stash, like just a little bit of a Hulk Hogan, like right around here, I would love that. Seriously, that would be fun. Seriously, Grady Dick, do a Larry Bird honor and do like the little like that. Yeah, we got these Kansas boys coming in. It's not Indiana, but he's Kansas. In some ways, he's very goofy to me. Like he's so goofy. He reminds me of some people I knew down in Tallahassee. Just this goofy blonde kid. You know, like you're goofy, bro. Yeah, he is a little goofy, but he owns it. He's all right with it. You know, he has TikTok. He's all about TikTok. Y'all want to go look at his TikTok. It's a little goofy, yeah, but it'll get across kind of his personality and who he is. But yeah, do your research, Raptor Freaks, and watch the TikTok of Gradey Dick, and you'll really get to know him. Now, he's saying he's going to get Scottie to do TikTok, but I know for a fact Scottie's not that into TikTok. Honestly, he was saying last summer, what's the point of TikTok? It's like, I don't get it. He was saying that kind of shit last year about TikTok on his Twitch. He's like, yeah, I just don't get it. So Grady, if you get Scottie to do TikToks with you, that'll be, an accomplishment because in some ways, Scottie shies away from any frivolous kind of bullshit like podcasts and TikTok and different things like that. But for some reason, I have a feeling if anybody's going to get Scottie to appear in a TikTok, it's Gradey Dick. And yeah, they've already FaceTime together. Apparently, they FaceTime right before Grady had his interview, and he's like, "I already talked to Scottie," and I know Scottie's excited, seriously, because Grady's the kind of broski that Scottie will really like hanging around with. Like he likes broskies, and if I've ever seen a broski in my life, Gradey Dick is a broski. I mean, you just the red sequins and just the goofy, just very carefree kind of guy. In some ways, I'm worried about how serious he is, but also in some ways, these guys that are such jokers and so non-serious, they're actually can be actually some of the most serious people in some ways. There's one thing he keeps saying. He says they're very competitive. Like he very much wants to win. And I believe him when he says that, even if he comes in a very jokey, kind of goofy manner. In some ways, him not being taken seriously by people is kind of like his submarine, like covert tactic. Okay, yeah, don't take me seriously. Yeah, you thought my fit at the draft day was kind of funny. Yeah, you think that's funny? Aha, yeah, okay. Boom, 4 3-pointers real quick in your face. And yeah, then you see how serious Gradey Dick is all of a sudden. So I like that. In some ways, it's kind of we get our submarine method of getting like told we're not good enough. Oh, Raptors won't be good enough. All this stuff. They'll look at Grady and they'll be like, "Oh, this guy's not serious. Look at this guy. Look at how this guy. You were supposed to take this guy serious." And then boom, it's a secret weapon. Yeah, you don't take him serious, and then bam, we kill you. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Add to it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Yeah, the Twitter last night is just basically gone to like being 5-year-olds. Seriously, it's too easy. It's too easy. In fact, I was telling everybody in the Facebook chat last night, I'm going to be calling him Gradey. Yeah, we're going to call him Gradey a lot on this channel. I don't need to make the low hanging fruit jokes. Seriously, I could go on a whole monologue this morning about dick jokes. I could, seriously, but where's the point in that? That's too easy. Like you guys would expect that from me. But what's the point in doing that? It's too easy. Everybody and their mom can do it on Twitter right now. So it's like, why do I need to do it? So I'm going to separate myself from that and maybe just show a little bit more maturity in some ways on the Rapper Freak channel for once and not make all the dick jokes this morning because I mean, they're just too easy. It's the lowest hanging fruit in this yard right now. Is that the Gradey Dick easy joke? Seriously. On that note, seriousness. Yeah, man. We got to get that Gradey Dick vibe. Oh, yeah, bro. Oh, man. That's a good one. All right, yeah, let's keep going. Ahmet the Goat is here. Ahmet the Goat in the house from Israel. He'll be coming back to Canada very soon, getting on that plane, coming for Global Jam here in Canada. Ahmet, what are you saying this morning after draft day? Good morning, y'all. I'm coming to Canada in 6 days. I'm so excited. I'm thinking of buying a Gradey Dick jersey, not because of his name, because he's a Raptor. Excited to see Marquis Nowell in Summer League. You know, I just really got brushed up on Marquis Nowell just now, really quickly with his highlights from the tournament this year. And this dude is a real deal baller, man. This guy is got that heart. This dude is a lot like Fred VanVleet. Seriously, he's undersized, so he has a real chip on his shoulder, and he's ready to prove some shit. And if you saw how he played in the tournament this year, he's like really one of these guys that makes things happen, even though he's at such a disadvantage. We know about these kind of characters because of Fred. And I'm telling you, this guy's got the same kind of stuff that Fred has. And I'm very excited to see how his path with the Raptors goes with his toe in the door as a two-way player this year. That's going to be fantastic. In fact, Summer League is going to be fun. Not only Summer League going to be fun with Gradey and Marquis, but it's also going to be very fun to watch the G League this year. Trust me. Marquis Nowell is a true point guard, and he knows how he has such a good vision on the court. Like there's so much going on. And this guy does these really casual, like flip over passes, like woo, and then it's all of a sudden it goes through two guys, and it's like the guy he wants it to gets it. And then there'll be broken up passes where the pass doesn't go the right place, but this dude hustles so hard. He goes and recovers the ball off of messed up plays. It's almost like when you shoot the ball when you're playing and you know you missed it, so you know where to run early to get the rebound because you know the angle that you shot it. Well, he does that with passes. I noticed that in his clip that he may throw the ball and his offensive player he's throwing it to doesn't catch it exactly clean. Well, he notices it right away and reacts quickly, and he gets to the spot and recovers the ball instead of letting it be a turnover. I noticed he did that a couple of times on the highlight from the tournament this year. So I'm really, really excited about Nowell. Nowell, 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 Nowell. The first Nowell on the Canadian Toronto Raptors, baby. Look out. Seriously, this guy's a real deal. I have some real strong vibes from him coming from nowhere, a little bullet. I woke up this morning because I went to bed early last night. I wasn't going to stay up for the whole second round. What the fuck? You think we saw the Raptors pick? I was like, all right, I can go to bed now. I did kind of want to see where Leonard got picked. But other than that, you know, I was like, I'm going to go to sleep. And I got up in the morning. Well, there was more presence in the morning. Marquis Nowell. And man, we should be real excited about him, Raptors fans. He's going to be fun to watch because he's just such a great playmaker. And he's just got that same dog, just like Fred and Kyle do. So, man, Marquis Nowell, mark him down right now. We will be seeing this guy rise up in our franchise. Seriously, may not be exactly like Fred, but we're going to see this dude do something. Seriously, I love the idea of you getting the Gradey jersey, Ahmed. Go ahead. I mean, that may be real fun to wear it. I'm sure a lot of people are going to have it. You know, he wants Drake to wear his jersey. That's what he said after the game last night. He's like, "Yeah, I want Drake to wear my jersey," and I'm like, okay, you know, in some ways, this is the most hilarious pairing in the world because of what I know about Scottie from Twitch last year. Like Scottie's weird about like glizzies and like the word dick and like other words. Like he can be like a very much like a little kid and be like, "Oh, I'm not gonna say that." Like he even had problems saying like Fiercely saw Sarah's name last year. Like she came in and she's like, "I'm not gonna say your name, Saul Sarah." Or something like that. I don't know why he wouldn't say the word fiercey. I don't know. Like he was censoring himself in the Twitch chat with certain names. He was like, I don't want to say that. That's no, like he wouldn't say Daddy Gates' name. Like if Daddy Gates came into Scottie's Twitch last year, he wouldn't say your name, Daddy Gates. He would say Gates. Yeah, Gates. So he's really weird like that. Like he doesn't like saying certain words for some reason. And I'm wondering how he's going to handle Gradey Dick's name. Like seriously, because he's very like it was funny last year when this would happen, when there would be like somebody who would put a nasty name as their handle in his Twitch chat, and he'd be like, "No, I'm not reading that. I'm not reading that." So I'm gonna see how this happens. Like there could be all kinds of weird comedy shenanigans with Scottie Barnes, just with his teammate having the last name Dick. I'm serious. I'm serious. You know, there's a really crazy story. We were noticing last night in the Facebook chat, the Raptor Freak official Facebook chat. If y'all want to join it, find me on Facebook, Alexiades, friend me, and I'll add you to our official Facebook chat, which is actually a live running chat 24/7 where we're all bringing news as it breaks. And we talk about stuff other than this chat here now. So if you're interested, it's on Facebook. You just got to friend me and I'll add you to it. Well, we're talking about Cam Whitmore because Cam Whitmore was supposed to be a top 10 pick and he started falling. He started just dropping through the teens. And I'm like, what is going on with Cam Whitmore? And Shane Waters, West Coast Raptor Freak out in Victoria, started saying, yeah, sometimes these players get blacklisted for unknown reasons. Well, the reason came up like just shortly after that. Apparently, Cam Whitmore got in trouble at the draft because he showed up at the draft and he saw our pick, number 13. And he said some really off-color, weird jokes about his name. Seriously, already our young Gradey is causing confusion and chaos in this league because of his juvenile name. He made Cam Whitmore fall all the way to 20th pick by Houston because seriously, they were in the backstage and Cam was making fun of his name. He was bullying him to a degree, and he was also just kind of making dick jokes. And the executives were back there and they were listening to him and they're like, we can't draft this guy. He's an idiot. Listen to what he's doing to Gradey Dick right now. So he fell all the way to 20th because of Gradey Dick, y'all. Isn't that crazy? That's so crazy. There's gonna be he's like a weird X Factor. He's like a funny X Factor. He's such a weird, goofy young kid. Like he really is this generation. And I don't know, having him in the stew, like we talk about our Raptor stew all the time. And this is a weird ingredient. Like this is maybe like putting ginseng in our stew all of a sudden. Let's put some ginseng in it. A little bit of zap and a little bit of health and a little bit of crazy, weird wonkiness. Like I'm telling you, these new ingredients we got to the stew last night, they're interesting. We got a little bulldog heart. Oh my gosh, undrafted. They once again knocked it out. This may be the best thing the Raptors do, like overall, like ranking wise, is signing undrafted guys after the draft. The last 3 years have been home runs. I'm serious. Ron Harper Jr. is going to pay off in the long run. Watch. And this guy last night, Marquis, oh my gosh, you can't sleep on Justin Champagny. And what a great undrafted pick he was after the draft 3 years ago. So, 2 years ago. So, man, I'm telling you, it's almost like the draft pick is fun, but seeing who they get undrafted after the draft is almost just as entertaining and amazing. And Marquis Nowell is a home run, guys. I'm going to tell you right now, if y'all watch the tournament, you know what I'm talking about. This guy was one of the big-time players in the whole March Madness this past year. He was a legit game changer and will of his heart making things happen for Kansas State. He wasn't messing around out there. He's like, I'm getting on the court. I'm going to make things happen. And I love that kind of spirit. We need more of that on our team in some ways. We really, really do. Tom Duke is here. Good to see West Coast Raptor Freak president and associate producer of the Raptor Freak channel. Tom Duke is in the house. 100% great energy exuding from Gradey Dick. Yeah, it's that big Gradey energy. Yeah, that big Gradey energy. Oh, yeah. Look out for that big Gradey energy. Yeah. What a strong addition to running it back. What's next in this final stage of evolving back to a championship level team? Good morning, Raptor Freak family. Happy Friday, Lex. Thank you, Tom. It is a happy Friday out here in the glorious cottage country of Ontario. That's right. I'm in Ontario. I'm a Toronto boy, baby. That's right. And now Gradey Dick has moved on to Toronto. Is not Kansas anymore, baby. Take Toto and pack it up and get on up to the T-Dot, baby, because you're coming to Drake land, baby. You're going to get that key and go see Drake and shoot some shots with him on his court. Hey, Gradey, can you shoot it from out here? You want to play horse? Yeah, Drake, let's play horse. All right, Gradey. I don't know if that'll be Grady's voice. I'm not sure how I'll do Grady's voice. And, we'll probably be calling different people at some point. Although I don't like calling the players. It's more about calling the coach or Masai. Yeah. All right, let's keep going. Tom's saying rookie of the year hasn't been decided yet. You go, Gradey. Go. Yeah, I don't know. That's a pretty steep odds on that one. I don't know. The first guy, that was another fun part of last night, getting to see Victor Wembanyama get drafted by the San Antonio Spurs with the first pick of the draft. A glorious, glorious moment. And, Scoot, third pick. That's about where we thought, Brandon Miller going to Charlotte second and Portland taking Scoot. And now the Portland situation is Dame or Scoot. And some people are saying there's going to be a move still this summer. One of those two guys is going to get traded. So you will not see Scoot with Dame playing together. So either Damian Lillard is going to get pushed on the move or Scoot Henderson is going to be moved right along from Portland right after the draft. Very interesting. Now, Scoot, as I said earlier this week, he was like, I'm going to go number one. I'm going to go number one. No, you didn't. And I think he realized why he didn't in the backstage when he got to stand next to Victor Wembanyama. That man is so much taller than you, bro. Look at it. You were looking up at him. And he said something about his shoes. I think maybe he said something about his feet because Victor's feet are like some of the biggest feet in the history of the NBA ever. This dude is a real deal Holyfield. Victor Wembanyama has got it up here, and he's got it way up there, and he's got this, and he's got this, and he plays. It's true. He plays like a guard at 7'5", and that is insane because, listen. A 7'2" guy will always be clunky and lurch like. That's what I'm saying. A 7'5" guy that can move like that, like a slasher scorer, it's over. It's over. He is a cheat code. And as long as he stays healthy, this dude is going to win a lot. And I'm excited to see it because I'm a huge Spurs fan. That's my Western Conference team. So this year's getting real interesting with Victor and Gradey coming to my teams now. Yeah, let's go Wembanyama. This is going to be fun. I really do love the Spurs. So I'm not going to be hating on Victor, y'all. I'm going to wish him the best, and I'm going to really enjoy his generational talent coming into the league and what it's going to do. I really, really hope he's not a bust and everything goes absolutely perfect for him. Seriously. But I wanted to see history. I wanted to see Victor get picked. And, man, that was awesome. That moment in the back with him and Scoot, that was hilarious too. All right, let's keep going. Nameless is saying we got that big Gradey energy now. That's right. I'm not going to do it, Nameless. It's too easy. It's too easy. Seriously. And seriously, I know I'm not for kids, but come on. In some ways, it's better to have good taste on your channel, too. It doesn't mean you don't cuss. You can fucking cuss. But, that's too easy, Nameless. Come on now. Yeah, I see what you did there. All right, let me officially give Gerald his 5 dunks. Nameless, I'm not going to give you the 5 dunks because I feel like Gradey was a known quantity. And, so I'm going to give it to Naco the Nacho. Naco the Nacho getting 5 dunks this morning for getting the draft right. He was the biggest Gradey Dick proponent on our channel in the weeks leading up to things. So you got it, Gerald. Bam. All right, let's see. Okay, Nameless is also saying, talk about adding a championship piece. You cannot win in this league with this day and age without a player like Gradey Dick. Well, I like that he is more of what we've been lacking. Gary Trent Jr. has been compared to Gradey, but that's not fair. And the comparisons last night were out of control. I'm not going to lie. If I really wanted to compare Gradey to somebody in the league right now, it's Tyler Hero. He is probably the most like Tyler Hero in certain ways because he cuts and he shoots just like him, and he has a similar height. So in some ways, we can expect as Raptors fans, maybe him to be developed into a role, not on the level of Tyler at this point. We got to have our expectations tempered. We could see him make baby steps towards being more and more like Tyler Hero. So that may be the kind of player we're developing with him. It's the right height and that kind of thing. And he has that little wrist flicker shot. That's the thing. It's a quick release shot. And in some ways, he really like looks to shoot whenever he gets the ball. So these are some of the things Bobby was talking about, what he liked about him. So yeah, let's see. Nameless is saying in a hyper offensive league, you need Gradey Dick. That's right. You need more offense. You need more Gradey. Yeah, I'm not gonna do that, man. I'm telling you, Nameless. You can have all the jokes on there, and I'm gonna have a fun way of trying to jump around what you're saying and stuff. All right, now I have smoked weed on this channel this morning, so I may have a little bit of a hard time finding my place when it jumps. We'll see. All right, let me see. I was just on Nameless. Nameless has a bunch of stuff. I love seeing everybody fill it up and stuff like that. This is awesome. Nameless is saying what you see now is not what you're going to get as a finished product. He's going to be so multi-dimensional. I don't know about that. I mean, the Darko effect could really affect Gradey. It could be that Darko unlocks him in certain ways. Now, there is some things in Grady's favor. He's a high IQ player. That look, there you go. There's a thing that we keep running across. Jaka Pearl, Fred VanVleet, Scotty Barnes, Gradey Dick, high IQ players. And that's why it's going to be really cool to see what we can do with him. Because if he's smart and he knows what he's doing, even if he's not the most athletic, even if he's not the strongest, he can get by on his wiles and being a little bit smart and having a basketball IQ, that could really work out. And like I said, if there's some sort of special chemistry between him and Scott, that's not going to hurt. You know, it's the kind of thing where if Grady's really into cutting and Scotty loves hitting cutters, that could be very fun, fruitful pairing. And then obviously him being able to be a big time 3-point shooter. He has range. He has Curry range. He can shoot from way out there. That's going to be really good for us too, as far as like being a target for shooting, more like Gary Trent and Fred in those kind of ways, the catch and shoot. So yeah, I'm going to be excited about that. The multi-dimensional stuff, I don't know. He does want to be more known for being a good defender. So he will be working on that. So maybe they really see that they can kind of make him into a serviceable defender and not a liability on defense. That may be one of the most important things that happens with him as far as developing. He's going to have to get to be very competent defense on the NBA level to a degree. You know, it may be that he's playing the weak guy, but he's got to have a certain level of like aptitude and keeping up with the speed of the NBA if he's going to be useful to play a lot. Because that was the thing that I worried about when I scouted him, is he's not NBA ready with his body. And they admitted that. So he is going to be a project. He's not going to be able to help us right away. I mean, he will come in and probably hit some threes here and there, but he's not going to play like 20 plus minutes, I don't think, at least not at the beginning of the year. We'll see how quickly he gets built up. Some reason the Raptors come to the team and all of a sudden these skinny guys are all of a sudden got these huge muscles. It's like John Lee and them get them real quick and they make them get like buffed up fast. So we could maybe see Gradey have some muscle by the time the season rolls around if they're getting with John Lee and he's already at like our OVO or something doing things already. So you think he's going to be a Swiss Army knife? I don't know, Nameless. That may be a tall order. He doesn't want to be just known as a shooter, though. And that'll be the thing he'll want to prove, just like Gary does. Nako saying, you heard of Sexland? Now get ready for the Dick Barn. All right, Nako. I'm going to regret giving you the 5 dunks for the competition last night. All right, that's your last pun you're going to make. See, listen, I've been in the writer's comedy room with Gerald. Come on, you know that's too low hanging. You know that this is not the gift that we want. In some ways, I didn't want them to draft this guy just because of his name and just the havoc and crazy, stupid silliness that can come from his name. Because his name is okay, we get it. It's Dick. It's hilarious. But in some ways, it's also like, all right, this is going to get real tired quick. Watch. It's going to get real tired quick. And then I don't even want to think about all the kind of Twitter tweets that are going to be coming in the next couple of years from different people and all over the place from outcomes and games and events that happen and just trying to be witty and funny with his name. So I'm just saying, this is going to be like, all right, I'm going to be kind of like, you know what? My comedy is better than this, Gerald. Come on. You and I had a standard, not many, but we used to have some standards of stuff, right? When we used to write stuff. Come on, man. The Dick Barn. Really? Come on, man. All right, Nako saying, I am worried about the athleticism, but he does help a lot with the spacing. Here's hoping that offensive IQ is unlocked. That's something he mentioned last night. He said actually he's looking forward to the spacing in the NBA because the court is a little bit bigger and there's a little bit of more of a dynamic of like having more room to get your shot off. And he's such a quick release that may make a big difference as far as like how much he can get good, better shots off. Now, the compensation of the faster athletes of the NBA with that space, I don't know how that's going to work. So, he thinks it's going to be good translating to the NBA, having more room for him to breathe to get his shots off. So that's what he's saying. We'll see if it's true, hopefully. Let's see. Tom's got a whole bunch of emoticons in his language. He's got a sword, a knife, a butcher's knife. He's got the cutlery for dinner. It looks like he's got bolt cutters, a spoon, a hatchet, and a rocket. Okay, I'm trying to figure out what your language is, Tom. But you know what? Sometimes it is very alien to me, and it is almost like you are from another planet, and I cannot decipher this. I don't know the do 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 right now for your emoticons. I'm sorry, I'm not reading it. Maybe I need to go talk to the aliens in Las Vegas, and maybe they'll tell me what Tom's saying there. I think it's just pointy things, sharp things. I don't know. I don't get it. Cool Cat's here. Good to see Cool Cat. Good morning, Raptor Free Crew. I am so happy we got Gradey Dick, the best shooter in the draft. The personalities of Scottie and Gradey are going to be hype. The content alone is going to be ridiculously silly. Oh my gosh, Gradey Dick better be on Hustle Play. I'm going to tell you right now, that dude will be on Hustle Play this year. And it's going to be a little weird. I'm sure it's going to be weird. Although, listen, let's go do our Instagram check and let's see how the current Raptors are taking to the news about our new players coming in. All right, first of all, we got Precious. He's still in Paris. It is Fashion Week. He's taking great pictures of architecture over there. I love to see that. And then he's got some sort of picture that says Skins on it. I think that's the company or something that he's hanging around with right now. Now, let's go look at our new guy, Gradey Dick. I've got his Instagram up already with us. He's got some funny pictures taken before the draft. He's wearing more normal clothes. Let's just put it that way. And he's kind of in a blurry photo set. Really cool to see Gradey smiling on draft day. A big day for him in his life. And there it is. Welcome, Gradey. He's reposted Scottie's post to him, welcoming him to the team. So there you go. The broski love is already in effect. Your boy Scottie has got welcome Gradey, and Gradey has reposted Scottie. So there you go. It's official. Slim Duck posting pictures of him talking at Basketball Without Borders in the interview scrum. And there he is. He's posted our ruby red slippered young man walking down a hallway at the draft. And so Slim Duck approving of the Gradey Dick selection. That forecasts that he may be a guest on the upcoming season of Hustle Play. Gradey Dick, I'm sure he'll show up and do an interview there. And then also Chris is celebrating Prosper getting drafted, Canadian Prosper from Montreal getting drafted. Chris really is an ambassador for basketball in Montreal. He really does celebrate all the other Montreal NBA guys, and that is awesome. I love all that. Very, very cool. Koloko celebrating Gradey Dick getting drafted. He posted the post himself. We got Ron Harper Jr. Talking about he is happy about he's in New York for the draft, I guess, maybe. And he's celebrating his guy who got drafted. He's I guess it's Jaime. They got drafted. I'm not sure who that is. I'm not sure who got drafted. He's also celebrating our undrafted guy coming to Toronto. So this is cool. We got our undrafted guy from last year, Ron Harper Jr., celebrating Marquis Nowell getting undrafted signed with us also. And this is exactly what Ron's saying. Congrats, Keese. First step on the long road. Many blessings to come. So this is great. These guys are going to be teammates, and they are definitely going to be playing together a lot this year. And they already know each other, and they're friends. So that may be due diligence that Bobby and Masai did, knowing that Marquis Nowell and Ron Harper Jr. actually already have a friendship. So I like this. I like this a lot. This looks like that these guys know each other already. So that's fantastic. And he's also putting on blast another Rutgers player who got signed to Oklahoma City Thunder, Caleb. Caleb got there. So Ron's always celebrating other people as usual. And he's definitely, I love seeing that he's celebrating Nowell, the new point guard he's going to be having throwing passes to him on the G League level. Scottie's doing his summer camp once again, y'all, June the 24th to the 25th. It's for kids. And then he had a nice pick of old school pick of him with some people who were in the draft last night. Jet Howard and Taylor Hendricks went from their time at the NSU University School in Florida. And then he's once again, there's him celebrating Gradey getting drafted on his Instagram. Joe Weezy celebrating Chris Murray getting drafted to the Portland Trailblazers. That was a really weird situation that they one more pick away was Sacramento, and he could have been put with his brother Keegan, but Portland wanted to ruin the fun, so they drafted Chris right before Sacramento could get to Chris. And in some ways, I don't like that. As a person who likes sets or people to be reunited, it hurt me to see the Thompsons go two different directions in the first round. I was like, wait, he's going to Houston, he's going to Portland, Detroit? No, So I wasn't a fan of Portland taking Chris Murray at the 23rd pick because I really did want to see those guys get together on Sacramento. It was so close, Keegan Murray and Chris Murray. It's too bad. That would have been cool to see on the Kings. And then Thad Young still celebrating stuff from his birthday. He's actually really proud of Jalen Hood-Schifino. He is somebody who's worked with Thad Young in the past, and he was very proud of him getting drafted by the Lakers last night. So there you go. So there's our Instagram check with our Raptors right now. Lots of people celebrating, lots of stuff from the draft last night, and good stuff. Good stuff indeed. Yeah, it's gonna be fun, Cool Cat. Seeing the bromance between Gradey and Scottie. It's gonna be pretty good. All right, I'm gonna give all y'all one. If y'all want to do dick jokes for today, we'll do them today, but we're not gonna do them for much longer. Okay, G is saying G deserves one of these. We got the dick pic. There you go, G. You get that joke. Nobody's told that joke yet. G officially gets the dick pic joke as far as in this whole thing. Troy Henry's here. Good to see Troy Henry, a great Raptor freak. Dicks up. Let's go, Raptors. There you go. Troy Henry gets dicks up. There you go. I'm telling you, this is too easy, y'all. Come on now. Alistair saying, oh my God, Lex. What, are you talking about this, man? I'm going to do a little bit more. Toki. Where did I put the lighter? Oh my gosh. Did I put it in my pocket? Probably did. What happened to it? This is what happens when I smoke on the air. Oh, there it is. It's under the napkin. There we go. It's good sativa. I think it's lemongrass or something. It's not lemongrass. It's lemon something. Lemon hazy or something. It's pretty good. Pretty good. All right, let's see. G saying, in all seriousness, he shot 54% from three off the dribble, and my wishes of a 40% three-point shooter on average came true. He fits with Scottie. There you go. Boom. G loves it. That's right. G's prerequisite was he wants at least a 40% three-point shooter coming in, and this guy, he clears it by a bit. And I love that he broke the record for Kansas University this past year as a freshman with 83 three-pointers for the season. You do the math. They only played like 36 games, and he got 83 threes. So this man's gonna hit volume threes, hopefully. We just need another gun in the arsenal, just like Gary Trent, Joe Wieskamp, and these guys that can fill up the three. We just needed more three-point shooters, and this guy can do that for sure. Ready to come. This is the other stuff. We got to see what he's tough enough to do in the NBA with his body and his athleticism. But yeah, I'm glad you're pleased with the pick, G. I really am. You're a good person to be happy with. All right, Mike's here. Let's hear Mike's take on the draft last night. Always happy to see the Logical Raptors fanatic, one of the best Raptors channels on YouTube, y'all. Seriously, underrated channel that should have more subscribers and way more follows. So please check out the Logical Raptors fanatic on YouTube today. Salute the real ones and Project Truth always. Masai and Bobby know what we're doing. A shooter with length and has other skills. Klay Thompson like pick in a sense of what I thought we could have had in that range. Yeah, it was interesting. Like seriously, he kind of was supposed to go in the top 10. So it's kind of like we're picking up somebody who could have gone earlier. In fact, a lot of people were surprised Orlando took Jet Howard instead of Gradey Dick. That was the spot where a lot of Magic fans were very much last night calling out that they wanted Gradey Dick at that spot where they took Jet Howard. So that says a lot right there. They kind of wanted him to be in the Orlando Pinstripes with Franz Wagner and Paolo Banchero and those guys. Because in some ways, Orlando's trying to build what we're building up here with our Vision 6-9. And Gradey Dick is another one of those guys that's right around the right range of height to play in that kind of system And that's why Orlando the fans very much valued him down south. So in some ways, there's a contingency of Magic fans today that are upset that they let Gradey Dick slip by and they took Jet Howard. So that's an interesting thing right there. MSJ saying, good work, Nacho. I like Gradey early, but didn't think he'd be there at 13th. We got the best shooter in the draft, and he does more too. A much better Joe W. Could be a 6-man Tyler Hero type. Yeah, MSJ echoing a lot of what I see too. I think that he was supposed to go a lot earlier, and in some ways, that is the reason why we picked him. Is because Masai and Bobby said, well, he fits what we really need. And he is kind of a guy we didn't think would be available here. And we told ourselves, if he is available, we better take him. And I think that's really how it all shook out like that. Sure, he's a little goofy. Maybe he seems a little not serious. But I think it's a little bit of a cover for how he deals with the public. And you'd be actually surprised how competitive and serious he is out there on the court. I want him to be fundamentally good and serious on the court. And he can be goofy and weird all around the court all he wants. It's just what he does on the court. He can't be like flashy and goofy on the court. Be fundamentally good and solid, Gradey. And I'll like you. And I'll sing your praises to the highest heaven on this channel and in your successes. Seriously. I just don't want you being a knuckleheaded youngster that's doing stuff that you don't have to do. Seriously, you and Scottie can get a good synergy without all the, don't be too goofy on the court, is what I'm saying. Cool Cat saying Gradey Dick will space the floor for Pascal and Scottie. He is a versatile shooter and he's a Vision 6'9", baby. I know that's the thing. That's part of it is that it checks that box that Bobby really does care about. And that's the difference between Jordan Hawkins and Gradey Dick right there. Gradey Dick, to an extent, does check off that Vision 6'9" checkbox. And all right, you mentioned Pascal, and let's talk about what Pascal said yesterday. Oh my gosh, SIAKAM. He's seen what Gary did this week. And, listen, he's hearing all this noise. And in some ways, what SIAKAM did is very, very brilliant. And it will help keep him here in Toronto. He just told everybody, he's like, look, I'm not interested in playing anywhere else. I want to play in Toronto. And he's even said to this point that if I do get traded to your team, don't expect me to re-sign with you. In fact, I'm more likely to turn right back around and come right back to Toronto. That is the most real one of the real ones you can get. How can you hate that as a Raptors fan? Seriously, this is what I'm talking about. As much as we have a love and a passion for our team, we just hope and pray that multimillionaires and guys that really don't have to have an allegiance to our city or our team like we do will have that. And when we do get those players, it's special. DeMar DeRozan was one of those players. Fred VanVleet is one of those players. Pascal Siakam is one of those players. He's a real one. What he said yesterday is undeniably put Siakam in. He is always forever a real Raptor because that's what he wants and that's who he is. And I just hope that Raptors Nation as a whole can do a better job of respecting our real ones, Fred VanVleet and Pascal Siakam going forward. Kyle Lowry's another real one. And y'all abused Kyle while he was on our team. At times it was unfair and wrong. I wish you would take the lesson from how y'all treated Kyle during those years unfairly and think about how you feel about him now in the past, since now that he's gone and he's on Miami, and how you have an affinity for him and you miss him in some ways. Well, realize that. Idiot fans that are always coming after our players in different ways, like you did Kyle before, you do to Fred now, you do to Pascal now. Just stop. Honor our Raptors greats and realize who they are. They're great. And they deserve our respect and love. And oh my gosh, Siakam, dude, you did it. You did it yesterday. I'm sorry. You're in now. You're made, bro. You are made, just like DeMar DeRozan, because of what you said yesterday. That is the only thing. That's a real Raptor, bro. He said if you trade me, I will turn right around and come right back to Toronto anyway. Man, that's amazing. I know it's not totally up to him. And Bobby and Masai, you better respect how Siakam feels and what he's saying. I know you do, because you do really great moves around the organization to help Siakam out and things that he wants. So I know the signals are there, and we'd be crazy not to keep him around as long as possible. I know people get upset because of his usage or they think this or that, but the dude's striving and achieving. And I'm telling you, he can be our Kawhi on our second championship in the coming years, the very near coming years. So thank you, Siakam. Thank you for saying what you said, because in some ways it scares people off from wanting to try and trade for you. You think Atlanta's still going to try and send these people to come and ask me if we would take DeJounte Murray and DeAndre Hunter and a first-round pick for SIAKAM anymore? No, because Atlanta wouldn't trust he would stick around to sign with them because of what he said yesterday. So you go, SIAKAM. You're a badass. I love you so much, and thank you for saying that. I know Cool Cat personally, as a huge fan of yours, is so happy to see what you said yesterday also. What a great job by SIAKAM. I love it. I love it so much. Let's keep going. Abandon's here. Good to see Abandon. Really, really like this pick. Morning, Lex and crew. They can't keep us down. We're the North. That's right. They can't keep us down. We the North. That's right. We are in the North. I'm north of Toronto. I am in the North. In the north of the North, we the North. G saying MSJ didn't think we would get him either, so didn't even talk about him. His shooting will translate in the NBA. High energy with Scottie and Darko. Did we get our swag back? I think we did. We did. I thought we already had it with Darko coming in as our new coach, but this is going to put it over. Like, this is a needle pusher for swagger and vibes in the locker room. I mean, I'm sure Gradey Dick is not going to be serious at all, and he's going to have everybody cracking up and thinking he's just a hilarious dude. Like, seriously, if you're ever on one of those team environments, and, last year's team mix may have been a little bit like we need some more kind of, maybe it was kind of like we were not winning. So Scottie didn't feel comfortable being kind of goofy and kind of being the lighthearted person, because he's kind of that kind of guy. Like, I could tell from last year, if things aren't going well, he can get in his mind and get in his own mood, and it's hard for him to be positive. He can be very emotional and kind of moody in that way. So if the team was like that last year, Scott was just trying to tread water and keep his own energy and happiness up. Well, this year, if we have some sort of like problems and stuff like that, first of all, Darko will be right on top of it. He won't let it fester like Nick did. And then second, Gradey Dick is going to be such a comic relief that even if there's kind of like fucked up weird shit going on around the team, he's more likely to keep things happy and light just because he's just that dude. Like, seriously, in some ways, it's not just a 3-point shooter the Raptors acquired last night. It's a locker room character that will be good for the health of the locker room, hopefully. I think that they probably put him through some sort of FBI test. Bobby Webster, Grady shows up in Toronto and he has him come into this room and there's a lie detector sitting there. And Bobby Webster's probably like asking him all these questions about his mind and his personality. And he's like, yo, dude, what's all this stuff, bros? Come on, man. And he's like, he's probably like really like, they probably asked him some heavy shit because they really do want to kind of know the psychology of the player and who they are. And they want to know if he'll fit with our culture. And like he says, he's unselfish. He's a very unselfish person. He said that a lot in some of his interviews last night. And I like that. That's what he's going to need to be on our team. And if he doesn't have an ego and if he's willing to make a fool of himself and not really care about it, he's going to be loved by these other Raptors. Seriously. And that kind of like presence on our team could have been so useful last year. And that's what I'm saying. So in some ways, they're kind of shoring up some of our weaknesses from last year in a weird kind of way. Gradey Dick kind of gets in that same category as Darko. And then once again, if we're worried about having heart and having somebody that will drive the whole franchise into competitiveness, go get a 5'8" guy with a chip on his shoulder who has a lot to prove at the very bottom of the pile, and he'll push everybody above him. Just like a 6-foot guy from Wichita State did a few years ago. That's what this Nowell guy's going to do. In some ways, he's going to light a competitive fire under the whole Raptors organization because they're going to be like, this dude's coming up. That's what Fred did at that time. He got everybody worried because of what he was doing and how he was coming up, that everybody had to up their game up. In fact, that's part of on the down low why we were so successful around those early years of Fred being on our team, is because it pushed everybody's competitiveness up. And that was part of the drive towards the championship, was like, Fred's coming up and he's going to take my spot. Oh, I better play even better. I better play even better. Kyle's probably thinking that. All these people around him. That's what I'm saying. Don't underestimate Marquis Nowell and his competitive drive and his heart over height mentality, and how it can be just like Fred when he came in as an undrafted two-way player. pushing all the competition from the 905 all the way up into the main roster of like, how you better have that dog because Nowell is coming for your spot. Seriously. These are a couple of things. Darko, Gradey, Marquis. I'm telling you, those are 3 improvements they're going to bring to our team this year, and it's going to help things we had problems with last year. Let's see. MK saying, I think he's going to be a fan favorite. I think he already is. In some ways, this may be a good distraction for Raptors Twitter. Having this goofball on our team, maybe they'll be more likely to be funny and try and like make more dick jokes and just kind of like lay off Fred and Pascal. Like maybe that's part of the Gradey effect also, is that like, now there's this really juvenile, funny Gradey Dick kind of thing to make fun of. And maybe they'll turn more their attention to being creative with dick jokes instead of just like slandering Fred and Pascal all the time. So this could be a good outcome from Gradey coming to our team too. I'm just looking for possible great things from the draft pick. And I'm seeing some really interesting kind of developments that could actually be weird and really helpful in the same time. We'll have to take the pulse of Raptors Twitter over the months to come and see what the ratio of horrible, stupid slander towards our front office and players and just stupid dick jokes is. It could very much be helpful in this battle itself. So, yeah, let's see. Leslie's here. Good to see Leslie Hart. Good morning, Raptor Freak family. Really happy that we got the best shooter. Now, what's his nickname going to be? Leslie, I'm glad you're the one who brought that up. We have to come up with something, guys. I know. I don't know. I think it's going to happen naturally. Of course, we'll have a Thursday think tank on this at some point this summer, and it may be X-rated. Honestly, we may have to make this a not safe for work stream if we're going to do the Thursday think tank that Leslie is proposing here. Yeah, I think we'll have to talk about this, and we can be just as juvenile, even though I'm talking against it right now. We'll make that stream actually okay to do that on. And it might get really gross, honestly. I know in some of y'all, it could get kind of gross, maybe. All right, fun guys here. I love my guy out in Mississauga, Mr. 905. Holy shit, Gradey Dick. All right, let's see what you got, boy. Fun guy's all about it. Awesome. I love to see that. The fun guy's approving. Cool Cat saying Marquis had the most assists in the NCAA. Amazing point guard. Heart over height, going to be a hype phenomenon too. He shoots the 3 as well. So imagine stretching the floor. I'm telling you, there's a lot of Fred in him. He has so much. He's like the latest edition of Fred. He's a smaller Fred, which is a little scary. And that may be ultimately the thing that limits him in the way. But listen, oh my gosh, that kind of guy with a chip on his shoulder, I'm not going to count him out. I already learned my lesson with Fred VanVleet. When Fred showed up in the same situation years ago, I was like, this guy's never going to make the team. I didn't believe in Fred at that time, seriously. But he did. So it's like, I'm not going to count out Nowell because I've already learned my lesson with FVV. So it is awesome, Cool Cat. And the parallels between these two guys are very, very strong. They're very, very strong. Seriously, he does have range. And I've seen him, like, he has a certain shot to him and confidence that he's like, he wants to take a big shot, Nowell. So it's going to be very interesting to see what he does for competition on both teams. I'm telling you. Logical saying Masai isn't stupid. He gets there, our guys born to shoot, and you need those guys. The issue that's what everyone wants at the moment. He said as much in his end of season speech when talking on the need for shooting and philosophy. Yeah, I think that once again, Bobby and Messiah have check marks. They have a list of things they want to check with each thing they try to do. Darko checked off a huge ton of almost all the check marks they were looking for. And now I think Gradey Dick actually checks a lot of the stuff they were looking for. I think shooting really was such a high paramount top thing that was needed, and Gradey definitely fills that in. And then the Vision 6-9 checks box being checked in, the vibes check box, culture fit, boom. There's a lot of check boxes that are fitting for both the guys they got last night. And you're right, Mike. These guys aren't messing around, and I wish our Raptors Nation would really trust these dudes and understand these guys are really good at their job. And I think last night we saw it once again. And I'm not even going to say it's because of Gradey Dick. I'm going to say it's because of Nowell. The fact that they got Nowell after the draft like that is pretty badass, and that they believe in this kid. I have a weird feeling about Nowell. Seriously, I really do. I'm at saying I wouldn't be surprised if Gradey goes to Global Jam. Yeah, I'll bet you both him and Scottie will be there. I'm gonna be ready to see Scottie Barnes possibly at one of those games. It depends on which game. He only goes to one. He's not gonna be there the whole time, but he did show up last year. And they have him in the advertisement for Global Jam over here. Like they had a picture of Scottie just on it, like he's going to it. So it may be that he enjoyed it so much that he would like to go to it. And I will be totally bet that he may be sitting there at the front row with Gradey Dick for this year's Global Jam. You got to figure out which one it's going to be, which event, and get the right tickets for it. It's probably going to be like one of the big games with like the US or something. Maybe they go and watch Kentucky play or something. I don't know. But that may be something you might want to try and research or something. Figure out which game Scottie went to last year and then try and project which one it would be on the schedule for this year. I don't know if you already have your tickets. MSJ saying we needed shooting. We got shooting. I won't make dick jokes. Thank you, MSJ. It shows maturity. But I can't wait to hear Jack Armstrong to walk into a few by mistake, laugh out loud. And what is this other pick? So, yeah, this is going to be really a phenomenon. We already know Ron Burgundy was the laugh of the decade as far as with the Raptors broadcast crew. In fact, this is so timely. Tomorrow, y'all, Saturday Share the Love Club. We're sharing the love for Matt Devlin because Matt Devlin broke his foot, dropped a weight on his foot, and broke a bunch of bones, and he's laid out for the summer with the cast. And I feel bad for our guy. We love Matt Devlin so much, so why not? Let's share the love club for Matt Devlin tomorrow, 9:30 a.m. on the Raptor Freak channel. So if you love Matt Devlin, please come in and let's talk about what we love about the guy. And, well, this is an aspect that's going to be very interesting next year with our announcers and our new player's name. I don't know how Matt and Jack will handle this. There may be some shenanigans. Yeah, I don't know. They may be advised by TSN as far as like what can and cannot be said. We'll have to see. Now, Alvin, he's going to be very classy about this, I'm sure. Alvin Williams, he probably won't stoop for the low-hanging fruit because he understands that it's just kind of silly. But I could see the guys you're talking about, Jack and Matt, getting a little goofy about this. Yeah, I could see that. So we'll have to see this season. The other pick is an undrafted guy we signed to a two-way contract after the draft last night. Marquis Nowell. He was a superstar for Kansas State, and they had a really good run in the March Madness this past year. Really, really kicked a lot of ass. He was the driving force for Kansas State getting so deep in March Madness this year. So he is a guy who has a lot of gumption. Let's just put it that way. Cool Cat saying the younger generation grew up with social media. I'm not worried about his basketball serious. Yeah, I know. It's not even that I'm worried about him not being serious on there. It's just that I don't know. In some ways, you worry about it with these young guys. Like, what are their motives? What is it they actually want in life? Did they want to play ball because it's the love of the sport and they just want to be the best player they can? Or are they trying to make money? What is their motives? And that's part of what Bobby Webster's FBI assessment of these personality profiles is when he has them come in. He probably is very much looking at what makes him tick? What is the most important thing to him? And I think Gradey's too goofy to be nefarious. I think he's exactly what he is. I think that he is a goofy, selfless guy who wants to be on the team and enjoys being around on a team and playing basketball, and he loves playing basketball. And I don't really see him becoming some money grubbing, crazy guy who's going to be selfish in certain ways. So, I'm not worried about that. And then the other thing is like working hard. He needs to work very hard. And that's the thing that I want him to be serious about. He has to get his body in better NBA ready shape. And then, we'll see how serious he is. With Zion Williamson, he's a very good example of somebody who doesn't take their athletic shape as serious as they should. So that's the thing you got to worry about with young players coming in is like, are they serious? And, I think I trust Bobby's assessment of personality to suss this out with Gradey. He's like, yeah, he's goofy online, but he's very serious as far as with his basketball career. And that's the thing that matters the most. You're exactly right. Monique is saying, Masai ain't silly. Let's go, Gradey. I'm happy. Good morning. Monique, the superfan Lawrence, is approving this message. Gradey Dick is our latest Raptor. picked at number 13 last night. I'd love to see Monique is approving of this message. That's right. She was making a couple of those jokes last night on Facebook a little bit. It's like, yeah, she's like, they're too easy right now. All right, NBA Quick Takes is in the house, and I like the quick take real quick with a thumbs up. Is grade A move 100%. Grade A approved NBA Quick Takes. It's a quick take. Check out NBA Quick Takes channel here on YouTube. Good stuff. Alistair is saying very underrated playmaker, extremely high IQ. Yes, and yes, yes. And I hope this all comes true. Now, Iceman like Gervin I have a very similar opinion to Iceman like Gervin in some ways, but I want to hear what he says because I saw his comments in the comments for the interviews last night and on for Raptors Tonight last night. Because I always see Minutes Police is in Raptors Tonight, one of his natural habitats. So I saw what his opinion is on all this, and in some ways, I very much agree with Iceman like Gervin for sure. All right, so he's saying Dick, 6'6", 25, should be turned into a solid role player, but I still will be watching how Hawkins, George, and Buff can do. His first season will most likely be spent playing for the 905 with Raptors wings. Yeah, I won't disagree with this. I mean, he might get spot duty. Darko may see if he's serviceable as maybe a occasional rotational player. And it could very well be if the Raptors manage the 905 better this season, we'll see him jump between the two teams very efficiently so that we can actually see him kind of get waves of like good stuff from 905 carried into the main roster where he can kind of do a spot duty rotation spot. I don't think he'll be regular rotation every single game, but he could be the kind of player that Darko throws in like every 3 or 4 games just to have an extra shooter on the floor for certain situations. So I agree with what you're saying here. This is the same when I saw how it all went down in that part of the draft with Grady, and then immediately after him, Jordan Hawkins and Buffkin and George. I thought exactly the same thing, Iceman like Gervin. That in some ways, I really hope Grady is super successful because in some ways, people like Iceman and I are going to be judging him against these other guys that got picked immediately after him. That in some ways, as Iceman's putting it, Grady could be a very good role player. But what happens if Jordan Hawkins blows up and becomes a superstar or something like that? That's the thing I'm worried about with this pick, is that in some ways, Keontae George or Jordan Hawkins, those two guys could possibly be on a different kind of level of the type of player they are than what Grady ends up becoming with his ceiling. And this is something that Iceman and I will look at. Now, this may be very much like a Malachi Desmond Bane kind of situation. So, and we're not, listen, I would say this, Iceman, because I know you're a good positive Raptors fan like I am. Let's not have this like be a thing where we keep harping on this over time. We'll silently remember this right now. You and I will make a pact that we remember that the Raptors took Gradey Dick before these 3 guys. And we'll be silently talking about this and thinking about this, but maybe not putting it on blast all the time because we don't really want to put mistakes that Bobby and Masai on blast. And if this does turn out to be a mistake down the road, we'll admit it and we'll say, yeah, we thought this might happen, but we won't be happy about it. And we'll kind of wish that it didn't go that way. But this is something I might get in this boat with Iceman and be like a little bit in the future, like, all right, I don't want to compare these guys to him, but this was an opportunity that they had instead, that they went this way, So I totally get what he's saying. I want Gradey Dick to be phenomenally successful, but I totally get the point of view of Iceman like Gervin. And in some ways, I'm very much the same as him with what he's saying. Cool Cat saying Lex is all natural in nature. Bring on the vibes. Yeah, I'll get more all natural here. Just can't be serious after you draft Gradey Dick. All right, yeah, that's lightening the mood, and I'm staying on task, I guess. It feels like all right. I've only gone an hour. It feels like I've been on for 3 hours because I've been smoking. It's crazy. All right, let's see. Leslie's saying at MSJ, I won't make dick jokes either, but I know it's coming. I really like this kid. You see, you even made a dick joke and you didn't even mean to, Leslie. You can't help but do it just because that word is there. Seriously, it's messed up. Well, I'm really glad that my channel is not for children already. Like I marked that box, not for kids, because I know we couldn't walk this tightrope. and not fall into the plethora of dick jokes that are going to come from this. Seriously. Cool Cat saying we're going to have Kansas fan base as part of our We the North. Let's go. We've already kind of had a Kansas fan base around us for a while. Svi Mahalik was very much that Kansas Jayhawk when he was on our team. Then also, for that very brief second last year in Summer League, Jack, what's his name? I hate that I have forgotten his name already. We know who he was. He had that one really good game. Jackson was on our team. He was a Kansas Jayhawk too. So we've had a few Kansas players on our team recently in recent years here in Toronto. But this guy is very much a heralded hero and a fan favorite. So yeah, I think you're right. We acquired part of Rutgers Nation last year with Ron Harper Jr. coming into the fold. So now we're going to have probably a better Kansas Jayhawk contingency of Raptor fans just because of Gradey Dick. Now, there are a lot of Kansas players in the NBA, so they kind of have different allegiances all over the place. And but Grady's not going to hurt with that part of the fan base. That's for sure, Cool Cat. You're right. Monique saying, FYI, Fred liked Marquis Nowell too, of course. Well, why not? Fred's very much on record as saying that he loves the little guy, the guy with exactly that kind of mentality that Marquis has. So he's a Fred dude, and Fred's not a hater against those kind of guys. It's not like you're trying to copy me, you're trying to be like me. F you, I don't like you. No, he loves those kind of guys because he understands them, and they're very much like him. And I love the seal of approval from Fred. And in some ways, listen, I can also read into this a little further. Fred approving of that and them bringing him in. Well, what does that look like? If Malachi's not going to be the understudy, well, Fred will probably maybe be more likely to re-sign with us because he's like, I want to work with Nowell. I want to make him my mini-me coming up after me. Because could you see that? Because Fred's that kind of guy. I mean, he got it from Lowry that way. So he, in some ways, he wants to pass it down. And he's been trying to pass it down to Malachi, and he has to an extent. But would he really be able to pass it down to a guy like Marquis Nowell? I think he would, and he would really find it gratifying and satisfying to be that kind of mentor and working with a guy so much like him. I think that actually will help re-sign Fred, getting Marquis Nowell. Seriously. I'm a fun guy saying, taking tokes with you, my man. All right. I knew you would be, fun guy. I knew you would be. That's why I was intentionally thinking, if I smoke weed on the chat today, I know Fun Guy will be smoking with me at least. On that note. But yeah, man, awesome, Fun Guy. Yeah. Making me fall in love more with Gradey because his goofiness matches Scottie and will lift the team spirits and good locker room. Darko's goofy too. I love it. Yeah, he's already met Darko. He said he met Darko in the interview process and they were vibing. He said he vibed with Darko already. See, that's the thing. I get more and more information about Darko, and I'm like, this dude is cool. If a cool dude like Gradey Dick thinks Darko's cool, then he's got to be cool, y'all. In some ways, what would have happened if Gradey Dick showed up and it was Nick Nurse? Oh, are you even serious? What is your deal, bro? Hey, bro, you're harshing my vibe, man. I don't like Toronto. What could have happened if he showed up and Nick Nurse, old ornery ass, was like, what is even your problem, man? I don't know. It could have been gone real bad if it had been Nick Nurse here instead, talking to Gradey Dick instead of Darko Rajakovic. Yeah. I don't know. I'm just speculating. That could have happened that way. I don't know. It's at least funny. Let's keep going. Randolph Phillips is saying, blessings, beloved Raptor freaks, most informative gang. Good morning to be a Raptor. Teams tried to squeeze us out by taking the players that we were high on, and we still got the best shooter. Yeah, I think we did get one of the best shooters. There were 4 guys that really were kind of the best shooters. Jet Howard, Brandon Hawkins, Brandon Podzimski, Gradey Dick. Now, Gradey Dick statistically was the best shooter out of all of them. So I'm very happy with it. Once again, they saw something in him that I didn't see. Well, I trust in Masai and Bobby that they know what they're doing, and we're going to see what happens. I think it's going to be fun. I think this is going to be fun. Listen, does this make this team more fun to watch this year? I think people are going to be more interested to watch because of the arrival of young Gradey. This may make people get more interested in it. I don't know. Who knows? They may be like, this kid seems weird and goofy. Who knows what he's going to do on social media leading up to the season? He may attract more people coming in. Seriously. All right, let's see. Nameless is saying, Iceman, you're selling this kid criminally short. I might be too. I'm just saying my first impression of him wasn't good. And I had advised them not to take him. And that's the thing. This is in some ways, it's a battle of me being right or Bobby and Masai being right. I want them to be right. I don't care if I'm right or not. They know way better. It's just me looking at him. I was like, man, he doesn't look like he's going to be an NBA player. I'm worried about this. And I'll just be real here. And I don't know, though. And I really, like I said, I'm not hating. I want Gradey Dick to be as successful as possible and be absolutely amazing. And, all the stuff I said in earlier streams about him, well, I want to take it back because I really want him to be what they see in him and not what I thought I saw in him. How about that? Cowboys saying, good morning, Lex and Raptor Freaks. Bam, bam, bam. Blaze it up. Let's go. All right, Cowboy. You don't have to tell me you twice. Oh, yeah. 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 All right, let's see. Abandon saying picking up right now, or picking up Marquis Nowell. Updraft has the Fred VanVleet feel, and he is a great young player. Just needs to transition with an opportunity. Yeah, he's hungry. Like, seriously, he was biting in the chomp last night. It sounded like he's like, you take a chance on me, or you won't regret it, is what Marquis Nowell was saying on Twitter last night. And he was like, well, Toronto, you made the right choice. He's on his way. This dude's going to be coming in like a little pinball, but banging into everything and just messing everything up. I love how he finishes in the land of giants. He has that Fred VanVleet dog in him that can finish in the land of giants, even though he's so little. And then I love they dared him to shoot, and he'll shoot it. You lay off him? That's insulting. He will bomb that right in your face. So don't lay off Marquis Nowell because he will hit those shots outside. I love that pick a lot. Seriously, I'm so happy about Nowell coming to Toronto as our two-way this year. It's really, really good. Quick Takes loves it. He's saying, yep. Cool Cat saying Scottie and Gradey have the same agent. Yeah, that's another thing. The commercials are going to be a hoot. Remember Jakob and Pascal bromance? It would be better. Well, we've got both now, Cool Cat. This is just like we got bromance factory on our team at this point. Let's have Scottie and Gradey. We'll have Jakob and Pascal. We got Precious and Chris. We got all kinds of pairings of good buddies and friends and stuff like that. So it's good because those kind of friendships really make guys play up and above and beyond when you're doing it for your buddies. DeMar and Kyle are the template. We saw how that bromance and friendship really, really made the synergy on the team more than just being teammates, but best friends and just like brothers. Yeah, there's something more when that happens, seriously. And if we can get those kind of synergies back with some of these teams that we're talking about, these little duos on our team, that's not a bad thing in any kind of way. Fred and Gary in some ways have a real synergy on that defensive point of attack stuff that they do. That's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. Monique saying Gradey can play right now. She says he can get out there and get going right now. She's on his way to the bridle path, and he's at Drake's house shooting over there. Iceman is saying, all right, he's got his lineup for next year. I love seeing this. He's got Pirtle, Achua, and Koloko at center. He's got SIAKAM, Boucher, and Thad Young, possibly at power forward. He's got Barnes, Otto Porter Jr., Gradey Dick, and Joe Wieskamp at small forward. Shooting guard, Anunoby, Trent Jr., and point guard, Fred VanVleet, Flynn, Doughton Jr., and Banton. Two-way, Ron Harper Jr., Nowell, and then there's one other player that they have another two-way. They have 3 two-ways this year. We'll have 18 players on the roster. And I would like to hope and speculate that other two-way is Gabe Brown. I would like to start saying that right now. If that could be Gabe Brown, I would be very happy by the end of training camp. But we'll see that. We got to go through everything in its order. Summer League, all the different stuff, the preseason, and, of course, training camp as far as making those decisions on who's coming and who's going to get cut. So, yeah, I like that roster. A lot of people will be like, that's the same roster from last year pretty much. But you know what? Honestly, that's a really good team right there. There's so many good players on each one of those categories. I wouldn't mess with this. I mean, seriously, I understand why they're running it back. these are really, really good, top quality, and a lot of them are really hitting their stride as players at this point, like Pirtle and SIAKAM and Anunoby. These guys are all like playing at a high level already right now. Sue's here. Good to see Sue. Played Again Sue is her YouTube channel. It's a music reaction channel. She reacts to music videos with her friends. Always a fun time on Play It Again Sue. Check out her YouTube. Good morning, everyone. I was happy with the pick last night. We needed a shooter, and he's a good one. We can work on his defense. He seems like he's got a good attitude. I heard he has a fire in him. That's what he's saying, that he really does compete and he cares about that kind of stuff. I'm sure he does. I'm sure he does. He just seems goofy. In some ways, I'm telling you, that's the kind of like a wolves in sheep's clothing kind of thing. All right, yeah, take me not seriously. And then it's like a hustler thing. It's like White Man Can't Jump. It's like Woody Harrelson kind of stuff. He's like, oh, I'm not going to take this guy seriously. And then he kills them. Seriously, I want that kind of vibe from him to come out on the court, him and Siakam. They're like Woody Harrelson and Wesley Snipes. And he's like, yeah, I don't take this guy seriously at all. And then boom, he just kills them. Seriously, I want that kind of stuff from him. I think it could happen. MSJ saying, laugh out loud. What is in the pipe? Anyway, Grady, if you want a Hall of Fame comparison, Reggie Miller, running all over the place, hitting threes. But with Scottie Barnes and Gradey Dick, very interesting and dynamic backcourt, and tall, very tall too. It's a sour lemon haze or something like that. Sativa is what's in the pipe. Gradey Dick does have some shades of Reggie Miller, and that's not a horrible thing. Like if he can become a player that can score all around, kind of like Reggie Miller or Gary Trent or Tyler Hero, that wouldn't be a bad thing. Seriously, it wouldn't be a bad thing at all. Alistair saying Gradey Dick should have been in the lottery, was a top 7 in early mock drafts. The draft is very deep, and that's why he fell. Yeah, there we go. I knew this. We were saying this earlier a couple months ago, that the picks from 5 all the way to like 25 are pretty, like there's a lot of the same kind of level of talent. And that because of that, things are going to be a little weird in like how things fall. And it may be need based. That we saw some trades that were really weird in the first round, where like Cason Wallace is ending up on the Thunder, even though he's drafted by Dallas. There's some interesting little movements with those different players and where they ended up. Very interesting. And Cason Wallace went very high. They were very high on him. It's gonna be interesting. He's on the team with SGA at this point. That's very interesting to me. Let's keep going. G saying, how mentally tough is this kid to grow up with the name Dick? Think about that. That probably shaped some of his goofiness too. You're right. That is something that we got to think about. Let's look at famous people with the last name Dick, like Andy Dick. That guy, look at how crazy and messed up he is. And I'm sure his name did not help his life. So in some ways, what G's saying is exactly right. Maybe his mechanism for defense is being not serious, because his name in some ways had to make him not be too serious in defense of like dealing with bullshit from people. So I could see that being part of the reason why his personality is built like that. I think G's hit the nail on the head right there. Dana's saying, good morning, everyone. My comment got removed. I know you did a good morning late last night, Dana. I saw it. But what you have to know is it's weird. If you comment too early on here, it doesn't show up on the next day. I don't know why it does that. I wish it would just keep everything, because sometimes people comment on my stream like in the middle of the night, and I see it and then it's gone in the morning. And I don't have it to comment now, but I did see you and I will count you as first. So don't worry. Nameless is saying, I'm so happy I could jump over the moon. The cow jumped over the moon. All right, Nameless. I like it. Monique saying the interviews were too short. Yeah, they were pretty short and sweet. They were having Grady's interview in the interview room with all the other draft picks. So there's all people talking all around. It was hard to listen to because people were talking over people. It's a difficult interview to listen to. And of course, Bobby Webster getting his interview finally, Ruiz or whatever, saying that he doesn't do anything. And they don't have the interviews questions like on microphones. So you can't hear them. You can only hear Bobby answer them. It's always annoying stuff like that with the Raptors press conferences and stuff. People talking over people, microphones not being on, stuff like that. Name was saying it does that by itself. Yeah, it totally does that. I wish it didn't, but it is what it is. G saying Noel's family and friends celebrating was awesome to see. Yeah, they're just really happy. Their son has made it to the NBA, maybe not through the draft, but in some ways, that is the chip on your shoulder to carry you to greatness. That's what gets you there, is thinking you should have been drafted, just like Ron Harper Jr., just like Fred VanVleet. You go prove it that they made a mistake, all those 29 other teams, but the Raptors gave you a chance, and you'll always love them for it, just like Fred loves us for it. See, that's the other thing. Remember that, Fred haters. We gave Fred a chance, just like we're giving Noel a chance last night, and that he's never forgotten that, and he's grateful to us that give an undrafted guy like him out of Wichita State a chance and a path to do what he's done. That is in itself, didn't I just describe to you why Fred VanVleet is a Raptors legend and he should be respected and talked positively about in Raptors Nation? Because he came from nowhere, just like Noel is coming in from nowhere with his foot in the door right now. Yeah, you got to understand these guys really do appreciate the chance that Bobby and Masai give them. And that may be why Fred resigns with us in the coming weeks. Yeah, and everybody's be like, "Why is he doing that? Why is he doing that? We hate him. We don't want him here." Well, you can hate all you want. We love him here on the Raptor Freak channel. We'll be so happy when Fred resigns with the Raptors. Oh yeah, we'll see what happens. Let's see. Mike saying Masai always delivers the goods. We're building something real in Toronto. The players buying into wanting to stay and win speaks volumes on where the guys feel. Strap back, the ride is going to be all time. All right, Mike. A little janky to read, but it's all good. Yeah, I think everybody chill and be ready for fun. You don't think the Raptors are going to be fun to watch this year? Well, did you see who we drafted last night? You think this season's not going to be entertaining? The vibes are going to be strong. Trust me. They're going to be crazy. Off the charts vibes this year coming up. Cowboy saying, because Bilal and Wallace were picked up early is why Gradey fell to us. Great pick. Let's go, Raptors. Yeah, you saw your guy, Koulibaly, going very, very high. Victor's very powerful. When he speaks, people listen. He got that man from the middle of the 20 picks into like the 6th pick. Isn't that where he got picked last night? 6th pick? That's where Koulibaly got picked? That's insane. No, he was 7th. 7th with the Pacers. That's insane. That is absolutely insane. That dude was like 25th pick like 2 weeks ago. When Victor speaks, they listen. I'm telling you. Holy cow. MSJ saying off the bench this year with Barnes running the point on the 2nd unit, flanked by Otto and Gradey. Precious and Coloco in the front. Think of that unit, people. Deadly. A passer feeding threes and rebounders. I love the sound of that all around, MSJ, and I think you're right. Abandoned saying, reminder, nah, I'm not reading that. Yeah, exactly. I'm not going to read that. Exactly, Abandoned. You saw how I handled that. I'm going to replace the word with Gradey. I will be saying Gradey more than I will be saying that word, guys, just so you know. If you try and set me up with any kind of weird euphemisms, because you know I read all y'all's comments, it will be changed to Gradey. My instant censor will do it. Watch. Haha. Leslie saying, I feel a positive energy shift for the Raptors with Darko and Gradey. Nick Nurse was like a dark cloud, and now the sun is shining. Yes, Leslie, yes. It's amazing. The sunshine of Jakob Poeltl, who showed up at the trade deadline, wasn't even strong enough to defeat the darkness of the NN at the end there. It's really crazy because Jakob came in like he was so happy to be back, but it's so crazy. He should have had such a more joyous homecoming, coming back to the Raptors, but it was all rained on by the sad, pathetic situation going on with Nick Nurse already when he came in. And I thought something was wrong. It's like things should be much more happy about the reunification of Pascal Siakam and Jakob Poeltl. Something is just not right. Why isn't Jakob more happy? He said, I am happy. I'm very happy to be back here, see everybody. Okay, well, why does it not feel like oh, something's wrong with the team? That's what I'm saying. If Jakob may actually become more of a sunshine point on our team also this year, just because of this situation also. The vibes check with him will be way better because everybody's vibes will be better. He'll be happier too. So I'm expecting that also with him. But yeah, vibes are going to be way, way better this year coming up. MK's wondering what number Gradey is going to wear. I don't know. What he wore. What did he wear in college? I wonder if I can look that up. I don't know exactly what you guys probably could tell me. I don't know what number he wore. Let's see. Quick Takes is laughing. Nameless is laughing. Country Kong saying, "Good morning, Raptors freaks. Last summer in Scottie's Twitch stream, I had so much fun getting to know Scottie. I asked him if he makes a living playing with balls. And he laughed and he said no. See, that's the kind of stuff they were doing. Country Kong, yeah, because I remember Country Kong was there too. He's Scottie Barnes' Twitch family too, and he came in. He asked him. He said, "Does he enjoy making a living playing with balls?" And Scottie's like, "I don't want to read that." He's like, he wouldn't like that kind of joke. Seriously. So this whole Gradey thing is going to be very weird with Scottie. He may be like, no, I'm not saying your name. I won't say your last name, bro. You're just Gradey. He's going to call him like G Money or something like that. He won't call him Gradey. I mean, Dick. He won't call him Dick. G's saying, our pick is causing problems already. Oh my God, that story is wild. Isn't it? Cam Whitmore dropping all the way to pick 20 because he was making dick jokes. Seriously. Cowboy is saying, okay, let me get back to it. Jumped. No. Okay, Nameless, thank you for the cutoff time. And I do want to finish up soon because I am out here with my folks. And we do want to kind of get right around 2 hours. Let's see. La 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 la. Where is that? Where was I? All right. I want to make sure I get every single comment. There's some really funny stuff I can see here already. Yeah, but no more comments now for sure, guys, because I see there is a lot here still. Okay, there we go. I was right here. Cowboy saying he's going to sell a lot of jerseys on Church Street. You're going to see a lot. That's too easy, Cowboy. I'll let you have that one. Iceman like Gervin saying, Rap second unit, Achua, Boucher, Porter Jr., Trent Jr., and Flynn. Well, those spots are all in competition. What if Nowell starts kicking so much ass he passes those guys? I would put Doughton Jr. in there instead of Flynn. I would. I like that lineup much more. Achua, Boucher, Porter Jr., Trent Jr., and Doughton Jr. And Flynn can be a specialist or maybe not even on the team. I don't know what's going to happen with Malachi. Alistair saying, how did they hear what Cam said? Well, they were in the back in the green room before the draft, and there were just people around, and he may have embarrassed himself by trying to embarrass Gradey, and just people saw it. It was like he was dumb about it. There were just people from different teams around, and they just saw what happened. Is what I'm hearing. I don't know. I don't know if that's a substantiated story. I saw a tweet about it saying that's what happened though. So I don't know if it's actually true, but it sounds like it's plausible. I don't know what he said as far as like he probably just made really dumb, crass, vulgar jokes. Let's see. G saying Marquis Nowell, check him out. MSJ, amazing passer. Yeah, his passing, he's a really good alley oop. Like I want to see Marquis Nowell throwing the oops to some of our really good finishers. We have so many between Precious, Chris, Christian, Scottie, OG, Pascal. There's so many different guys he can throw alley oops to on our team that it could be very seriously like Lob City, Clippers, CP, Blake Griffin kind of shit going on with our team. Because Nowell's got that aptitude. In some ways, Fred can do it and he does it, but he doesn't look for it like this Nowell guy does. Like he's very much an opportunist that very much looks for the passes all the time and gets them. So he's different than Fred like that. In some ways, he's more pure point guard than Fred is. And in some ways, I'm very intrigued by that. And his lobs are insane. Seriously, he's got these insane lobs. I want to see him throw some lobs for Precious. It'll be nasty. At least for Coloco at G League for sure this year. Yeah, Trevor's saying, I know somebody whose name is Dickhead, so Gradey Dick is not that bad. You know what? This is so weird and out of the blue. I'm going to go ahead and give you a dunk, Trevor, because I love that. You just gave me like a really weird fun fact. You know someone named Dickhead? Oh my gosh. That's just not right. Man, that man needs to be called Richard. He needs to not be going around with that name being, yeah, my name's Dick. What's your last name, Head? No, he needs to tell people his name's Richard. You don't need to be doing that. G saying he set the NCAA record for 19 assists on Kansas State Elite 8 run. Yeah. Yeah, it's seriously like really weird, like casual passes that are just perfect and amazing vision. Like he had like I saw one play where he had like three options. He had a guy out on the three, he had a guy cutting along the baseline here, and then he had another guy coming around a defender. And he did the exact right, perfect decision in that moment. And boom, they got an easy layup. He got the guy who's coming around the defender in the middle. But he could have easily dumped it to the cutter, but he read it exactly right and his instincts were right and he got it right. So I really like his passing instincts are really, really good. Nowell, really, 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 really good. Cowboy saying that Dick can shoot. Okay. All right, Cowboy. I'm giving you two. All jokes aside, he's going to kill it. The best 3-point shooter in the draft, I believe. Yeah, I hope so. I hope you're right. Fiercey's here. Good morning, fam. Joining the chat late and need to head out to a wedding, but so happy about the draft and looking forward to seeing Gradey flourish. Yes, I'm excited about it too. It's a new player, interesting player, and we'll have to see how he fits in with our team. I think it's already going well. But have fun at the wedding, Fiercey, and congratulations to the happy couple. Yes. Nameless is saying, laugh out loud, Cowboy. Okay, let's just get it all out of our system. I know, seriously. Nameless is the one telling you that. We know Nameless is going to be very immature with his humor. So it's like he's actually calling you out on this. I love it. Monique's saying, right, Lex. Many say Gradey is Tyler Hero 2.0. Well, we'll see if he can develop into that. I wouldn't be upset if he's that kind of player for us eventually, but there's no guarantee he'll get to any kind of level that Tyler Hero's at. That's what we have to see. We got to temper our expectations, see if we can get a little more muscle, a little more development, and maybe he can get to that level in the years to come. Who knows? We'll have to see. Bam, Nameless. Bam. All right, I like it. Fiercey saying there was also a fellow Montrealer drafted. So proud. Yes. Two Canadians drafted last night, the 30th and 31st Canadians ever drafted in the NBA draft. Prosper from Montreal and Leonard Miller of the G League Ignite Fort Erie. He has been drafted last night. I believe he got drafted to the Minnesota Timberwolves last night. Leonard Miller is a Timberwolf, guys. And Prosper, I believe, is a King. He's on the Kings. Let's see. Alistair saying he's a 6'8" Klay Thompson. I don't like the comparison of Klay Thompson in some ways. I like the comparisons of Tyler Hero and Reggie Miller, honestly. He's got the same kind of shooting style as Reggie Miller does. So if that says something about Gradey Dick right there, the same kind of shooting style as Reggie Miller, it's that quick flick grip release. I'm a fun guy saying, Lex, he actually already is like a Swiss knife. He cuts, shifts a lot for open shots. He can dribble better than Gary Trent already and get to the rim. He can rebound really, really well. He can mildly pass. Yeah, so he's a slasher scorer along with the shooter. I realized that was part of my scouting report. When I looked at him, I was kind of annoyed with him because it seemed like he didn't want to shoot the threes. He was always driving. It was almost like he'd do the fake too much and then drive into the paint. I don't like that tendency from Gradey Dick. I want him to stop doing that. In some ways, he's not going to do himself justice trying to go around guys and get to the basket that way because he won't make it there in time. He'll be stopped. So I'd much rather him try and just shoot it. And that kind of that instinct's good, but it won't work for him in the NBA right away with the change in speed and strength. And that was part of the reason why I downgraded his game when I scouted him, is because I don't feel like his slashing, cutting stuff with the fakes and stuff are going to work because they'll be covered up quicker with the better defenses of the NBA. So I'd much rather him shoot and just shoot, because in some ways, right from the start, he needs to just be a spot shooter and do kind of like Joe Easy stuff to begin. And then maybe we can elaborate and get that kind of stuff going. Unless he does it and he can beat them, then I'm like, okay, he can do it. But to me, with my eye test, I don't know if he's quick enough and athletic enough to beat guys to the rim, even beating his one guy. There's going to be help defense that's going to stop him, and they can really be physical with him. So it'll be hard for him to finish. So that's why I'm kind of skeptical about him as a scorer. I know he can shoot. He could be a real good shooter, but that scorer stuff that Tyler Hero does, he's going to have to work on that if it's going to be in the NBA level. And we'll see if he can get there. That's the thing I'm worried about. Names is saying, laugh out loud at the random swings at Bugs while Lex talks. Yeah, there's a bit of Bugs out here. It's not too bad, though. Kareem Thomas, good morning to you. Names is saying, Alistair, bingo. I think they just drafted Klay Thompson. I'm glad someone is with me. Yeah, I hate Klay Thompson as a player, so I don't want to compare him to him. It's really because I don't like Klay Thompson. If you guys want to say he's like Klay Thompson, go ahead. But I won't say that because I don't like Klay Thompson. Monique saying, congratulations, champion Danny Green, having announced having a baby boy. Oh, wow. Danny Green. I didn't know he was settling down. I guess, yeah. Oh, yeah. He does have a girlfriend he's been with for a while. Well, congratulations to Danny Green. That's awesome. And Bandits laughing their fucking ass off. Infamous is saying, salute family. Great pick after doing some research. Marquis Nowell, who we signed to a two-way, got me excited. Kid's got game despite his height. Pulling for him. I'm telling you, man, this guy's got Fred VanVleet DNA in him as far as like he has something to prove. Fiercely saying, Scottie Boucher Coloco posted the draft on their Instagram story. Great team spirit. They got a goofy white boy to be playing with now. We'll have to see what Gradey Dick is like on the team with his spirit and how he rubs off on everybody. I'm sure that they're going to have fun palling around with him and having him on the team. He's a rookie, so he's going to be carrying that Dora Explorer backpack. It's going to be funny. And then I can't wait to see the karaoke. Maybe they can get – all right, here's a fun fact about Gradey Dick. Well, it's been very much revealed last night that he does a very good Donald Duck impression. And he did it for a second. So maybe he'll sing the karaoke birthday song in the voice of Donald Duck. That would be hilarious if he could do that. But yeah, he's a goofball. He really is. Wayne saying this pick was mentioned a lot months ago and went silent recently. The front office was excellent and not hyping possible picks. And this pick is good for us. IQ beats athleticism in my book. You know, that's what Doug Smith was saying on Twitter today is that the Raptors just don't leak. And once again, it's proven that there you go. We picked Gradey Dick. Nobody knew had any idea what we were going to do. And boom, we surprised people. We don't talk. We do not let people know what we're doing. And the IQ is a big part of it. I think it really is the IQ that put him over the top. Nameless is saying, let the Scottie Gradey bromance begin. That's right. I think it is already started. Already, I'm sure. Kareem Thomas is saying, so does this mean Fred is back under a new deal since we didn't exactly address the guard position? Yeah. Yeah, this is, you know what? It's basically like this. I look at it this way, Kareem. If he goes and takes more money and goes to another team, it's going to be a shittier team in some ways. And it may be not exactly what he wants. That's why I don't think he's going to do it. And he will re-sign with us. And much to the chagrin of all the Fred haters, he will be back probably. There's a lot of articles coming out saying that. And that's part of the reason why Raptors Twitter is so emblazoned with like craziness right now is because they're seeing the writings on the wall that Fred may actually be circling right around to come back on a new contract with us for more money. And that's why they're all so out of pocket right now, so out of pocket. And yeah, I think that this does signal that for that reason that you're saying right there. It's like, well, we don't, that's a hole in our franchise. If Fred leaves, we manage to not get him back, we're going to have to replace him somehow, some way. It's not like what you're going to put Scottie at that point guard position. What? No, you're going to start Jeff Doughton Jr. instead. I would maybe do that. I don't know. I don't know what they would do. Maybe they just say Pascal is the point forward now and Scottie's his understudy. And they kind of fudge it that way. And they really just do it the way that Nick's been doing it the last couple years. You know, there was a lot of talk that if Fred left, that the Raptors would make a move to try and get Tyus Jones from Memphis. And his work with Darko already in Memphis, they're very close. And they, in some ways, Tyus Jones is a point guard that's ready to start running a team. Now, he just got traded to Washington. And, you know, Washington's doing a really quick turnaround with their front office all of a sudden. You saw how quick they traded Chris Paul right on out to the Warriors in such a crazy big deal with Jordan Poole going to the Wizards. This is hilarious. I love seeing this. And, yeah, that hit from Draymond Green last year has finally ended what was – I knew this was going to happen. Those guys were never right that whole season. They said it afterwards. And now Jordan Poole is a Wizard. And so I wouldn't be surprised, even though Tyus Jones is in Wizards right now, if Fred leaves, we somehow finagle some sort of way of getting Tyus Jones to come in and be our point guard. They'll definitely have somebody else coming in if we do lose Fred. And I know it's not for sure Fred will be back. But I'm hoping, and all the signs are showing. We see Gary showing loyalty. We hear Pascal confessing loyalty. Well, Fred may be the next one, and Jakob also. And everybody will be like, what is up with these Raptors They're like a cult. They just love their team. They look bad though on paper. Why do they all want to be there? I don't know. What do they know that we don't know? Those Raptors, they just don't make any sense. None of them, the front office or the players in their decisions. Maybe y'all just don't know the Raptors very well as we do on this channel. That's for sure. I think it's got a lot to do with it right there. Let's see. Nameless is saying these guys are going to be the funniest duo tandem in the league. You watch. They went and got Scottie a best friend. In some ways, it does really seem like this. I think this is probably right, and he doesn't want y'all to add him. He's nameless. You should not know who he is, so don't add him. Let's see. G is saying nameless. Add OG with his dance move and quirky personality to that duo. Yeah, I mean they could be the somewhat of a three amigos kind of combo there. OG, Scottie, and Gradey. Yeah, that could be really silly. Really, really silly. We're building a family again. Aw. Monique is saying Raptors tonight crew discussing Gradey last night. Yeah, it was good to see those guys up late. One in the morning, Randy Urban and Akil Augustine, Sherman Hamilton and Paul Jones giving their 2 cents. I actually watched them this morning because I did want to kind of hear what they were saying. Just a little brief one. Those guys looked so glassy eyed, like they were so tired, like they were up so late and stuff like that. But always good stuff from them. Sherman Hamilton's just always cut and dry, just right. I love what he said about the comparison stuff. And he's awesome. He said, Gradey Dick's going to be the next Gradey Dick. That's who he's going to be. And that's what Scottie would say all the time on his Twitch. He's like, who are you going to be? Who are you like, Scottie? He's like, I'm going to be me. I'm not going to be anybody else. Scottie's going to be Scottie. So Grady's going to be Gradey also. Kareem's saying after Jack Armstrong made that comment about Ron Jeremy, God knows what he has in store for us with Gradey Dick. Oh, yeah. There's going to be some funny stuff. Seriously, I know there's just going to have to be. Seriously. And they're going to have Matt Devlin giggling like a little schoolgirl once again for like 5 minutes. And Jack Armstrong is saying, what? What? I did what? He's like, you'll hear Matt singing and just, oh my gosh. I love when Matt Devlin giggles like that. Y'all know what I'm talking about. That's the best. I'm already starting the Saturday Share Love Club for him tomorrow. Because I love when Matt Devlin giggles. It's so funny when he's so, it's infectious. It's like when they did the Ron Jeremy thing, I laughed myself at my house for like 10 minutes straight afterwards, partly just because of the way Matt Devlin was laughing about it. So yeah, there's going to be stuff like this year. Let's see. Stargate is very happy for the twins. Thompson twins. It's cool to see them get drafted right in a row. I really wish the Murray twins had been reunited, but no, Portland's a stingy jerk. Maybe they wanted to do that to try and get some like leverage with the Kings to try and trade players to help Dame or whatever they're trying to do. Let's draft Chris Murray so then maybe the Kings will trade us a good player to reunite their twins, Keegan and Chris. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. That could have been the theory with the Trailblazers taking that pick. Cowboys saying, let's go, Raptors. We got a 3-point assassin. Also, he likes his energy. I think Gradey has the perfect personality for the Raptors and the team. He seems like he's going to be a shot in the arm, that's for sure. Cool Cat saying, under Nick Nurse, these shooters wouldn't get court time. Laugh out loud. New times, baby. Yeah, well, let's see how Darko does and see what he values. And I'm really, really hope it's going to be very much what you're saying. All right, Infamous has got his dick joke. Here it is. We'll give him one. Jack Armstrong during the game yells, spicy pee from Dick. Great ball movement. Yeah, that's pretty good. Honestly, that's kind of ingenious in some ways. If you can do it with artistry, I will give you a dunk. So, Infamous, I don't even see your name on here. I know you're a couple of different monikers on here. We're just going to write Infamous on here. I'm going to give you a dunk for a dick joke because it was honestly kind of, it had layers to it. So, not every one of them are. Don't try and make dick jokes just because I gave him a dunk for that. I just, I had to give him. It was not bad. Stargate saying, yep, Magic fans are not happy that Jet was picked and not Gradey. They wanted Dick. Sorry, I couldn't resist. But I'm in all seriousness, they kind of upset in Orlando. They are. They really did want him. In some ways, they're upset. Like I was a little bit upset that we didn't take Jordan Hawkins. They're like, well, why didn't we take Gradey Dick? So that's a good sign. That's a real good sign. Was that Orlando pick was what? That was a pretty high up pick. That was like the 11th pick. So it was 2 picks before us. So there you go. A team before us, their fan base thinks they should have took who we took. I like it. Infamous is saying people need to realize the great lineup we can put on the floor. We basically drafted a 6'8" shooting guard with IQ. Crazy. I love that. Yeah, I love what you're describing there. Nameless is saying some of the goofiest athletes I ever played with in amateur sports were the most serious and fiercest competitors, including myself. There you go. I like that. And let's not stereotype goofballs. They can be very good at what they do. Dennis Rodman. Iceman like Gervin saying at Nameless, I'm being realistic, friend. Raptors are already too deep at every position and still have their MLE and their BAE to use to sign a free agent. Dick will be getting a lot of run with the 905. Yeah, I'm with Iceman on this because it's true. He needs to go to that level anyway. In some ways, he's better off in that level with his strength and conditioning and who he is. And he's got to build up to get to an NBA level. He's not a right away like person. He, like I said earlier, he may come in and do like a 5-minute stint every 3 games or something like that. And it may be that he just adds a couple shots. Now, if he kicks a bunch of ass and he earns time, well, then that's the path to do it. But it's more likely that he'll be one of the top players on our Raptors 905 this year. And I want to see that. Honestly, it'll do him way more justice to get a starter's time down on 905 than hang around the Raptors all season, not doing anything, but little spot duty every couple of games. So I'd much rather they dropped the ball at Koloko on some ways last year with this. They didn't let him go down to 905 enough. I felt like Koloko should have been on 905 a majority of that season, and that would have helped his conditioning and his development much better. That was one of my criticisms of the whole thing with Koloko was he should have been on 905 way more. And I want Gradey down there as much as possible also. So I'm totally with Iceman like Urban because it's just the logical path of development that he needs to go through. And it's really partly his body type. It seriously is. Cool Cat Sam, Pascal did a boss move. He learned well from one of his mentors, his beloved Kyle Lowry. He got fed up with all those teams calling for him year in and year out. He flexed his preference. Yeah. Yeah, and I'm sure that, like, in some ways, he knows from the management that he is safe. He's very much a valued, important person because he puts the work in. We're getting our returns on him with the investment of the money that they pay him. So it's like it's working out. You do a service, you get paid for it. Well, if you don't do the service right, we don't want it around anymore, then you got to go. But that's not the case with SIAKAM. He gets the $30 million a year, and he works even harder. So it's like that's what I'm saying. He feels pretty comfortable in his position here with the management that we're not going to trade him. And he's telling everybody he doesn't want to be traded. So just shut the fuck up. So there you go. Cowboy saying it's nice to hear that from Spicy P. That's right. Honor and respect are great. All NBA, all-star, one of the greatest Raptors of all time. In my book, it's Kyle Lowry, DeMar DeRozan, Pascal Siakam, Fred VanVleet, top 4 greatest Raptors of all time. I'm sorry. Everybody else is below them. Vince, Kawhi, Chris Bosh, they're all below. Those 4 guys are the greatest Raptors of all time. That's why people need to start respecting Fred and Pascal more. Nameless is saying, I just think you are underselling his potential is all Iceman. Well, in some ways, what he sees is what I've seen too. And that's part of the reason why I'm like, on Gradey, but I'm like Bobby and Masai. I got to trust them. But, we'll see. We'll see who's right on this. I think it's just inherently smart to play him at 905 most of the season. It's just that's the program. That's part of making up for the fact that Grady's only gone to Kansas for 1 year. He's a freshman. He should be going in his sophomore year at Kansas. But no, he's in the draft. He's in the NBA all of a sudden that quick. Well, you know what? 2 years of G League after 1 year at Kansas is smart for his development. Trust me. You don't want to throw a fish like him in the big pond with the big fish, and he just gets messed up, and then he's bust. He's out of the league. So in some ways, it's smarter and it's better for Gradey if we play him on the 905 level. And what Iceman's saying is looking out for him, honestly, in some ways. So Cool Cat saying Pascal don't have to be a lifer. At least like a Lowry, he gets a choice on his next team if he has to leave. Yeah, I don't know. It sounds like he wants to be a lifer. We'll see. All due time. Right now, things are good, and we'll see how things change over time, and hopefully we can make it work in different ways. That's the job of Bobby and Masai, and they'll figure it all out as time comes. We deal with the present. We had the draft last night. We got a new player. We got a new undrafted guy. And we just move through each step of what's coming up in the timeline. Now we got to get ready for Summer League. and getting things going with possibly all the different free agency and trade and stuff like that. That is the period we're going into right now. So we got to see what happens. And down the road, Siakam should hopefully be a Raptor for still a long time. That's what I want. Fiercely saying people complain when players want to flee the city, but yet Pascal wants to stay and they still find a way to complain. I know that speaks so much about those people that they just want to complain. Nameless is saying, I strongly disagree with your take that he'll be a solid role player moving forward. Strongly. In fact, I think he will become integral. I hope you're right, Nameless. I think that this will happen. I'm just saying with all good time. It may not happen overnight. And I think like that's the thing. You can both be right. What Iceman's saying and what you're saying are not on conflict. He's saying he thinks that he's going to have to play more 905 this season coming up. What you're saying could become true in like 3 or 4 years. You can look at Tyler Hero's path and maybe kind of like infer that could possibly be what Gradey Dick does. And, you got to look at his early years and what he did and what he accomplished and kind of maybe downgrade Gradey a little bit lower than it in each step. I don't know if Gradey Dick is going to exactly be Tyler Hero. If he's at the same level as Tyler Hero, that's fantastic. But I would temper your expectations to be maybe just slightly below Tyler Hero on each part of those levels going up. I don't know. I don't know how to gauge it exactly in that way. But I think you guys can both be right. It's just that you're talking a couple years from now, and Iceman's talking about right now and going into this season. Cowboys saying, I disagree, Iceman. I think Gradey will be on the Raptors roster from day one and won't see one day of the 905. No, that's not good, Bradley. Y'all, seriously, we need to use our development team. It's there for a reason, and it's important. It's not a downgrade. It's not a slight on these guys. In fact, this is really good for these guys to get opportunities to develop and play better and play a lot. The 905 is not a slight. I'm so mad that people made a big deal about Koloko going to the 905 like he shouldn't. He's a second-round pick. Of course he should go to the 905. Of course he should play down there NBA like minutes, like 30 to 40 minutes. So you can really see if he can work out and play those kind of reps in a whole big minute game. He won't get that on the main roster. So the 905 is absolutely essential for every single guy in there. Yeah, sure, Scottie didn't go to 905, but he's absolutely one of the very, very special, exceptional cases. Everybody else, I'm sorry, they need to go to 905 and get their druthers down there, build themselves up. It's just the smartest thing for the player and for the team. It really is. Let's see. Cool Cat saying we're building a championship team step by step. Yeah, we're filling in roles. They've got a big board with names on it like Jakob and Pascal. And they have puzzle pieces. They're fitting together that they visualize as being a championship kind of team. Other people may not see the Raptors as being a championship kind of team, but people that played them in recent years know. And also the team themselves knows from playing with each other. So people can look at it from the outside, not understand, and be like, why do they want to keep this team together? They're not that good. Well, why would everybody who's on the team really buy in? If they thought they were wasting their time, they wouldn't want to be here, right? So I'm going to go by the people that are actually in the middle of it, that are doing it. Then the people are kind of like judging it and be like, they're horrible. Why would they want to be together? Well, they want to be together. That speaks a lot against what you think. Doesn't that make sense? I mean, that makes sense to me. Wayne saying, if Pascal said that, anyone talking shit about him is going to be banished from this channel, period. Sorry, Lex. I know I'm overstepping, but Pascal's untouchable. I'm okay with this. Seriously. I give people strikes for this. Seriously. So we already do this, Wayne. Somebody just comes in here and slanders Fred, Masai, Pascal, any of our Raptors people, just for no reason, they get a strike immediately. If they do it 2 more times, they're banished. So, yeah, we have a process for this already. That we won't tolerate, just slamming Fred or Pascal just for the hell of it or just being a hater on this channel. And that's part of why this channel is what it is a sanctuary from that toxic. And that's how we protect it. Monique saying, today is a good day. We should go a bit longer. We will. They knew it. Adrienne is here, and she said, you're going to go 3 hours on your stream today. She's like, I already know it. That's what she said. I was like, I'm going to try to get to 2 hours, and we were right about at 2 hours, but we will probably go just a little bit longer. We get to 2.5 hours. That may be good. So maybe just about a half an hour more. Iceman saying at Cowboy, of course he will be on the Raps roster from day one, but he will be going to 905 in order to develop, get playing time. Raps are already too deep at every position without using their MLE and BAE. He's exactly right. Iceman is right. Please just listen to him. He wants him. He can play both. He'll get time on the 905 a lot, and he'll get spot duty on the Raptors to get tastes of the big time action. And he will be utilized. I don't know how Darko's going to do it. We don't have a personality profile of Coach Darko yet and how he runs things. So I cannot speculate exactly how he may be implemented or how much, because we have no way of like knowing how Darko's going to run things as a head coach in the NBA. So in some ways, we just got to be patient. I think it's mandatory that Gradey Dick go to 905 and get those reps down there. Iceman like Gervin is very wise on this. I'm with him on this. And he's exactly right. There's a mid-level exception. There's a couple of other roster spots that are going to be filled in on our team. And we could get even more burgeoning talent. And the competitiveness to get minutes on the Raptors may be very, very difficult and high. Seriously, we've got a lot of good players that eat up a lot of minutes already. And we may get even more, another big name addition on top of things to make it even more competitive. So Iceman's right. He's thinking about the president now. Y'all are thinking a little bit down the road. He can get there. And then the whole thing about him playing at 905, it's good for him. Trust me. Gradey, it's good for you to go to 905. I don't think he'll have any problem going to 905. I mean, shit, look, Victor wants to go play at Summer League. They said, Victor, you do not have to play at Summer League. He said, I want to come and play at Summer League. So Victor Wembanyama is taking it in his own hands. He said, I'm going to go play in Summer League, even if the Spurs aren't too thrilled with it. They're like, you don't have anything to prove. Don't worry about it. You don't have to come to Summer League. He's like, I want to. I want to play at Summer League. So it could very well be Gradey Dick's like, I want to play at 905. I want to get a lot of minutes. I want to get better faster. And I know playing at 905 will help me do that. I like I said, I'm with Iceman, y'all. You can disagree with me and Iceman. That's fine. But I know the value of 905 and what it has done for players on our team already. Mike's saying, call him a grade A because they finally gave us an A on a draft pick. They did? Ooh, ESPN or somebody. They said grade A pick by Gradey. Yeah, grade A. That's a pun. Mike, you know what? You really did good with that because you fooled me by making a joke that I didn't even realize you were making a joke. And Mike's getting his first dunk, y'all. I don't see Logical Raptors Fanatic on this list yet. So Logical, you're getting it for that really good pun. That was such a good pun. Call him a grade A because they finally gave us an A on a draft pick. It's grade A. Grade E. Ha ha ha. Bravo. I don't even know if you meant to do that, but I'm going to give you points. All right. Professionals here. Sixers fan is here to check on us. He's probably wearing his nice brand new Nick Nurse Sixers jersey right now. I want to see what he's saying. Congrats on the pick. I don't know much about him. I heard some people say he is too worried about hanging with rappers instead of putting in the work. I hope it works out. Nick Nurse is fitting in nice. Okay. We'll see how it goes after first couple practices and running those guys all over the place. We'll see how it goes there with Nick Nurse in Philadelphia. Yeah, you know, he wants to hang out with Drake. Gradey Dick does want to hang out with Drake. But we talked about this already. We think that this is a cover. You go ahead and think he's a casual and he's not taking things too seriously professional. You go ahead, Sixers Nation. Yeah, Grady's not that serious. I don't know about this guy. He seems kind of flaky. He's not like a serious dude at all. Sure, you go ahead and believe that. All right, you believe it. Stargate saying Marquis has one thing already that Fred doesn't have, a floater. Ooh, shots fired. But it is true. In some ways, he does have a floater in the lane. He has a really, really uncanny sense of the time, too. Like there was a shot clock running out, and he had some really weird, crazy off-balance shot where he banked it almost from the three-point line. And this was in the tournament. That's how much of a baller he is. Like he had that instinct in that moment. He knew he didn't have that long, and he had to get the shot off. And he like fell over and he just threw it up and it went and it banked right into the basket. It was some big baller, crazy, like instinctual shot. It was so cool. Monique saying Grady should wear number 13. Why not? Right. Because of his pick, because of the pick number. Yeah, that could work. I don't know. We'll have to see what number he's getting. We'll see. I'm sure we'll find out soon. Thanks for the cutoff, Nameless. I really appreciate that. Mischief saying, I'm happy we drafted the best three-point shooter in the draft. Raptors' biggest weakness is the three-pointer. Yes, Mischief, you're right. And I don't know. We didn't get Nikola after the draft as our undrafted. He did not get drafted. Jurisic. So I'm still watching him for you, Mischief. Nikola Jurisic. Who knows? Maybe he will be invited to our summer league or something like that. Who knows? We'll have to keep an eye on his name and see where he's going, Mischief. Good to see you. Cowboy saying, I hear you, Iceman. Just think he doesn't need much more development to his game. I think the Raptors and Darko will throw him in the fire right away. No, Cowboy, he does. It's not about his shooting. His shooting's fine, and that will be helpful right away for the team. It's about the defense. It's about the pace of the game. It's about slowly bringing him in and integrating him against the tougher competition in steps. Instead of just throwing him in the deep end with the NBA, you got to give him some lesser competition so he can thrive and kind of succeed against. He may kill it in G League, and it may seem like, okay, this guy doesn't need to be playing down here, but we want him to do that first and get those good vibes and good feelings. The development in his game is going to be his body and his defense. Those are the two things he definitely has to develop better to be a capable NBA player. He's got to develop his body, literally, his muscles. That's one of the things I didn't look for in one of our draft picks. I want an NBA-ready body, and Gradey doesn't have one. So that is part of he needs to do in his development, that and the defensive work. He's got to be a better defender. MSJ saying the NBA has to make this team happen. Sexton, Dick, Gay, Love, Wood, coached by Magic Johnson. There's other guys with names that you did mention that could be in that whole thing too. I was thinking about this last night. I was like, this is the first time on the Raptors that we've had a player like Rudy Gay. Now we have Gradey Dick. It's like, oh, we used to have Rudy Gay. Now we have Gradey Dick. Some reason those names are very similar to me for some reason. I don't know why. They're just kind of goofy names. All right, Nameless is saying that's a dunk, MSJ. That's an auto dunk. All right, you want him to get a dunk for that? We'll give MSJ a dunk for that. MSJ getting his 4th dunk ever because Nameless is designating it. I was gonna slightly give him a dunk, but since you said for sure, we'll make sure it's a dunk. G saying someone said Tom Grady as a nickname. Tom Grady, like Tom Brady instead of Tom Brady, Tom Grady. Well, let's see if he's passing like Tom Grady. Then maybe we can give him that moniker. But I don't know if he's really that. The passing stuff is what he's known for. It's the shooting stuff that he's known for. Cowboy saying, I'm the only one that hears the crickets. You hear what's behind me? Yeah, there's birds chirping. There's some stuff going on out here for sure. It's all happening out here alive. It's alive. Cool Cat saying, I think the new generation wants to enjoy life and everything they do. Basketball is just a job that they enjoy, and they bring their personality as opposed to Kawhi's serious, no smile, work like approach. Yeah, I mean, I can get behind that. Everybody has their own personality and who they are, and that's just what it is. Scottie is Scottie, Grady is Grady, OG is OG, Precious is Precious. It's just that's how it is. I'm not going to diss any of them for how they go about their approach. If they're successful and they make it to the highest levels of basketball, well, they obviously are doing something good, right? So, you got to look at it that way. I get what you're saying. Kawhi's not that serious either. He is a fun guy. So it may seem like he's like that all the time, but he was always kind of cutting up too. People don't actually say that enough. They act like Kawhi is like this robot and he has no emotions, but the dude was always cutting jokes, and his teammates would tell you that Kawhi is actually a pretty funny guy. G saying Joker makes it clear basketball isn't his entire life. I'm wondering if there's just so much pressure now with social media that they really need outlets, healthy outlets, and balance is key to success. I think for sure the new pressures of the new world with social media in different ways, things are happening. It's evolving in a weird Wild West kind of way where they're like, seriously, Kevin Durant talking to people directly on Twitter, the sports betting stuff. There's so many weird stuff in there that it could drive you crazy. There's different pitfalls than even from like 5 years ago. And these players in some ways have more pressure than they ever. And this may be how they deal with it. It's like, you know what? Fuck this. I want to go watch horse racing with my family in Serbia. I don't give a shit about anything else. Grady wants to be on TikTok and cut loose and have a good time and not take life so seriously. Maybe that is a coping mechanism for the very intense stress and pressure of trying to make the NBA. So, yeah, I totally get this, Gene. I think you're right. Cool Cat saying, remember, Scottie is our future star, so we get young players that are compatible with his style of play. It's awesome. I think Scottie's really going to enjoy hitting Grady for shots. Like, he loves assisting people. And if Grady's a money shot, more than often than not, there could be a really good synergy between them. I'm not saying it's going to be like a Stockton and Malone kind of pairing that's going to be historic like that, but it could be a well-known pairing in the NBA at some point. And that people are going to be talking about Grady and Scottie or Scottie and Grady, that connection as being very special. Kenrick James is here. Good to see Chronic Art. Kenrick James, a great artist here in the Toronto community, tattoo artist, and just a general artist. If you have art you want to get commissioned, look up Kenrick Chronic Art James on Facebook. He's a fantastic artist. He's done some of the art for this channel, Raptor Freak channel. That's right. Big Gradey energy. He likes it. Big Gradey energy. That's right. I'm not going to say the other word. I may replace it with Grady instead. That's just to make it a little like not so trashy on this channel. Iceman like Gervin saying at Canadian Cowboy, like all rookies, he needs to improve in everything. His shooting is NBA ready, but is his defense. Who is he playing over the projected 10 deep roster before any free agents are signed? You know, Iceman like Gervin said something earlier where he says he thinks that Joe Weezy is further along than Gradey Dick, and he's exactly right. You know, that may not sound right to people, but, you know, Joe Weezy is kind of on the escalator a little bit ahead of Gradey Dick. And in some ways, Joe Weezy may get more opportunities this season than Gradey Dick does. Don't be surprised by that, guys. Part of it is that we need to give Joe his proper chance, not unlike Nick did last season. And in some ways, he's already accustomed to some of the stuff that's going on in the NBA and working on his body in the ways we're talking about and a little bit further along. So Iceman like Irvin's right about that also. That I do feel like Joe Wieskamp may actually get the first crack. And Gradey Dick is a project to a degree. To a degree, he is. I really do believe this. Y'all are crazy if you think he's just going to come in and be right away one of our top 8 players that plays every night. No. No. In some ways, like I said, Wieskamp will probably get the chance before him, and Iceman's right on this. G saying, I wanted Hawkins and Buffkin, but like Cool Cat said, if they are quietly building around Scottie, to me, Gradey is a great piece. His shooting does not take up Scottie's space. No, he's a great compliment with them. That they're puzzle pieces, they fit real nice together because there's skills that Scottie really values in him that he really enjoys. From watching him play NBA 2K23 last summer a lot, he wants, if he's going to pass to somebody, he wants them to make the shot. That's why he loves Gary so much. Because he gets Gary so much with assists, and Gary's a bucket that Scottie's like, yeah, I just got another assist. So he wants somebody who's going to make the shot if he passes it to them. And if Grady's going to drain these shots coming from Scottie's passes, yeah, they're going to be fast friends. That's going to be part of it right there. So yeah, I'm excited about it. You know, Hawkins, I can understand this. Bobby Webster's 6'9" vision probably discounted him, and Buffkin in some ways has got the same problems as Gradey Dick does. So in some ways, I'm like, well, they both need to work on their bodies. So it's kind of, yeah, and the defensive questions are there. But yeah, I'm really excited about the pairing of Scottie and Gradey. Cowboys saying true, Iceman, I agree. I just think that he will be a Raptors bench mob and not see one day on 905. We'll see, bro. Yeah, I hate that, Bradley. No, we don't want that for him. It'll be a disservice to Gradey Dick. We want him to get all of the things that he can possibly get to help him become a better player. He needs to go to 905. He just needs to. Monique saying jersey sales probably go up for Gradey. No, we'll see. I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. There might be a lot of little kids running around with his jersey just to be like kind of rebels. I don't know. The professional saying, I missed it. What was your quick evaluation of Gradey before you guys picked him? And when it was your turn to pick, did you want someone else who was still left on the board? Yeah, I'll answer this honestly, professional, because you could really go back and see what I said. I actually was not a fan of Gradey Dick. I actually was advising not to pick him on my draft special last week because I don't think some of his game will translate to the NBA. And I'm not totally thrilled that they picked him, but I am trusting in Masai and Bobby because I know they're really good front office, and I'm going to give them a chance. So that's really kind of my stance. I wanted them to pick Jordan Hawkins, who got drafted the pick immediately after our pick. So that was who I actually had picked yesterday before the draft that I wanted them to get for sure. And no, they didn't do that. And I'm okay with it. I'm not the one who knows more. It's Bobby and Masai that know better than me. And I'm going to go along with what they chose. So there's my honest answer to your question. I wanted Jordan Hawkins. I didn't want Gradey Dick. Isaac saying, I hope you have fun. Colorado, legalize it. Don't criticize it. So you think I'm in Colorado now? Y'all have put me in Georgia. I believe I was in, where was I? I was somewhere in like Arkansas or something. Y'all keep naming different places wherever I am. So I'm in Colorado because I'm smoking the ganja this morning, Isaac. Yeah, okay. I'll be in Colorado. It's not a bad place. It's the state has the champions in it right now. Let's see. Fun guy saying, and not bring race into this, but he will have Austin Reeves, kind of Tyler Hero, Alex Caruso effect. White boy sauce going to bring more people watching us. Laugh out. Listen. We this is obviously something that we can talk about with this, and I'm not disagreeing with what he's saying. In some ways, it's a sad truth. It's like, people want somebody that, everybody wants somebody on the team that they can identify with. So there could be white people that are like, oh, I can identify with him because he's a white guy or something like that. And that's not untrue. And I think also this, like, in some ways, I think that the guys on our team will like having a guy like him around just because he is kind of the goofy white guy. I'm serious. That is kind of a fun kind of like, it's not like a caricature. It's more like it's just like a vibe in the team, especially if Grady's doing goofy stuff. Like somebody said yesterday that what he was wearing yesterday, no white person should ever wear. And I was like, that is kind of funny and true in some ways. Like that's not style, bro. You should not be wearing that. And in some ways, he's kind of such a goof of himself that it's like, I don't know. He makes himself cool in the joke, even though in some ways he's kind of the joke. I don't know. It's a weird situation. I won't disagree with what you're saying, fun guy. That this will be something similar to kind of like those players also. He could be very well like a lot like Austin Reeves on our team and like the popularity in certain ways. So we'll have to see. Nameless is saying, you guys are tripping. Our entire organization thought Gradey Dick over Jordan Hawkins. I know. I know. I'm just saying by what I saw. And I know I may be proved completely wrong. And I hope I am, seriously, because I don't want to be right. I'd rather Masai and Bobby be right. If I'm ever in disagreement with them, I'm okay with being in disagreement with them, and I hope I'm wrong. Seriously, that's how much I love the Raptors. I don't want to be right over Bobby and Masai like a lot of people do. I'm the opposite. If Jordan Hawkins is not as good a player as Gradey Dick in his career, I'll be very happy about that. Let's say it. Cool Cat saying, I'm fun guy. I am looking forward to getting that Kansas fan base, seeing Grady's hometown and also college. Yeah, listen, it's gonna be fun. Welcome, Kansas Jayhawk fans. We welcome your young great player Gradey Dick, and I wish him all the success in the world. I hope he is a fantastic NBA career, and especially if he's here in the Raptors for most of it. I'm all about that. Cool Cat saying, I'm okay. Yeah, I read that. Nameless saying, guaranteed New Orleans would have taken Grady the very next pick instead of Jordan. You think so? If we had taken Jordan Hawkins, then Gradey Dick would have gone to New Orleans instead. Yeah, okay. All right. I could see that being true. Sheer Khan saying, good morning, Raptor Freak family. Past the deadline, but still wanted to chime in if we have time. Work was giving me a tough time this morning. Gradey Dick probably got some comparisons to Rip Hamilton, but with better rebounding. Go Kansas or Kansas, hashtag Kansas. Yeah, he is pretty good rebounder. That is one thing, and that's shared with Joe Weezy. Joe Weezy's a good rebounder too, for just a 3-point shooter kind of guy. So they're both similar in that way. Rip Hamilton is an interesting comparison to Grady. I don't know if I see that. I feel like Rip Hamilton was way more like people like Buffkin and those kind of guys instead. In some ways, Nameless is saying, I'll bet you all and you'd lose. All right, we'll see. Down the road, we'll find out what happens. We can all have our opinions, but once again, I don't want to be right to the detriment of the Raptors. So I'd much rather Gradey Dick has a huge, amazing, successful everything he's doing. Cool Cat saying, not hearing the questions in interviews is by design. It's because the writers are free to write their articles. Everyone has to get paid in this business. I see what you're saying. I get what you're saying. I know that just the fans are annoyed with it. You know what I do? I can actually hear them because I put headphones on and I crank it up, and I can very much still hear their questions. If you do it that way, you can hear their questions. Also, you can put on the closed captioning. Often they'll catch their questions even if you can't hear them audibly. You can read them sometimes. So there's a couple of my tricks of the trade when watching those press conferences and getting the media and like being able to hear them or understand what they're saying. But yeah, I get what you're saying. I understand that's part of why they do that way. That doesn't totally make sense because in other press conferences they have microphones on the people and you can hear them. Alistair saying Grady has quick hands on defense, averaged nearly 2 steals, and he plays hard. There you go. Yeah, he does get steals. That is something I remember that stat when I put him on the spreadsheet. I saw he had good shooting. He got rebounds, and he does still get steals also. G saying, apparently Gradey has high IQ. This will overcompensate for some limitations such as first quick step, etc. Well, that's what I'm saying. That's definitely something that will help. That's a Larry Bird kind of thing. He may not be the quickest, but the IQ is very high. Well, then it can get around a lot of stuff that can be a problem possibly. For sure, for sure. All right, that was Nameless. I just read that. Okay. All right. Nameless is saying, I've been blazing that ish with you too, Lex. All right. We got a couple burners with me this morning. I like that. Isaac saying 4, jersey number. No, number 4 is Scotty Barnes. We know that. That will not be changing. Seymour saying Wizards giving out stars to contending teams: Boston, Phoenix, Golden State. Gradey wore number 4. Yeah, he won't be able to wear number 4 for Toronto. We know that, guys. Come on, you know that's Scotty's number. He can't wear number 4, and you know he won't get. Scotty's not going to give it to him. So who knows? Maybe he's 44. He could be. Could he be 14? 14's Muggsy's old number. I don't know if there's any 14s on the team right now. Maybe he will wear 13 because it's his draft pick. I don't know. What we can speculate. We'll find out what Grady's wearing. As soon as we do, we'll all know. Fiercely's saying no 69 though for his jersey number. I think that's smart. You don't want Dick 69 as one of the Raptors jerseys, hottest selling jerseys down at Center Sports. Yeah, that may not be a good look. Yeah, pause. That's a pause. That's what Scotty would say. Pause there, Fiercely. I'm gonna give you a dunk for that one, Fiercely. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Pause. Yeah. Nowell is a mini Fred VanVleet. That's right. He is. He's a mini VanVleet. We just signed Fred VanVleet 2.0. I think that's a sign Fred will be returning. I love this kid. I think so too. And hello, acoustic guitar and stuff. I don't even know what acoustic guitar and stuff is. I'm just going to plug them anyway. Acoustic guitar and stuff. It's a guitar. A guy at the coffee shop, and he's singing "Runaway Train Never Coming Back," and he's got a guitar, and it's acoustic and stuff. There you go. Hello. Rio's here. Rio McLovin. What's up, Rio? Hey, Rio. What's up? 9:30 every morning, Raptors Street Channel, live talking Raptors, daily stuff. We're talking about Gradey Dick today, obviously. Rio McLovin. I love that name. I can really put something into that. Rio McLovin. Yeah. Nameless is saying, this Nowell is disgusting. Laugh out loud at everybody. About to take a nice little nap on this guy. I know they're going to be sleeping on heart over height. Version number 2 coming up after Fred VanVleet, 5'8". You think that Fred had a chip on his shoulder at 6 foot? Well, this guy's 5'8". Let's see what this heart is like with this height. Ooh, he has something to prove. Oh yeah, I want to see it. Isaac saying like, subscribe, and hit the alerts. He's got a cutoff for me again. I appreciate that. We'll get to 2:30, and I'll be 2.5 hours, and I'll be done. Hit the like button. Thank you, Cowboy. Everyone have a great day. We got a great player. I believe so too. Cool Cat saying Danny Green got married after his Lakers ring. You forgot, Lex. Oh, yeah. Okay. It's because it wasn't here. And when he left, he was almost dead to me. So it's just like, yeah, he's on the Lakers now, and he's a champion with the Lakers. Yeah, I don't really pay attention. I don't watch the green room anymore. All right. Yeah, you're right. I do vaguely remember he did get married on Instagram. I saw it. Rio McLovin saying Gradey Dick could be a dick at the 3 when it comes to away games or a big game. We'll have to see. Hopefully he will be sticking the 3 in the hole very often, and I'm just trying to say the vernacular there. Let's see. But yeah, hopefully he has some big shots in certain ways as far as winning big games for the Raptors with great shooting for sure. Cool Cat saying, I love that Pascal, OG are staying quiet on social media with all these trade machines going on. Yeah, OG ain't even saying nothing. That's why they are man of mystery. Oh, of course OG's unhappy. He's got to leave. I don't think he's unhappy. I think they're crazy when they say that. Fun Guy's saying, to be honest, Lex, I don't want Gradey to gain muscle. He's nice right now, very fluid and unicorn-like. He won't be a back-to-basket guy. I want him to glide on the perimeter. I think he's perfect right now. Well, we have specialized strength and conditioning programs with John Lee. That maybe there will be a specialized program that's different than the one like Coloco and Chris Boucher and people have had before. And I can see where you're right, that you want him to be kind of glidey and not be like in the trenches near the basket kind of guy, that it may be good for him, but he still needs some strength. Seriously, he's just going to need the weight training. He's just going to be stronger in certain ways. It's not that we want him to balloon up and weight, but we do want to see some more definition around here, like, just a bit, just because it is going to be a stronger game and he's going to have to weather it all. Then, we also don't want him to be weak and take injuries often. So part of it is conditioning and endurance and strength to handle the new level of the NBA. So I agree with you. We don't want him to build into a tank where he does lose a step, because he may not have many steps to lose already. But we do want him to have a more stronger frame in general, if not a lithe, slender, quick frame with muscle on it. How about that? Duke Rocks is saying, I understand the development with 905, and I'm sure he may get some time there, but Gradey will be coming off the bench considering he was a 13th pick and we need shooting. Yeah, I won't disagree with you, Jay. I think that he will get chances on the main roster, but temper your expectations on how often and how much. It may be similar to what Coloco did last year in some ways. So let's not think of somebody else. There's a car behind me all of a sudden. People are driving behind me here. All right, let's see. What else do I got to go? We disagree on Grady's ceiling, and that's okay. Yeah, that's all right. We'll see what happens. I mean, I want him to have the highest ceiling in the world. Seriously. I don't care if I see Gradey Dick at all. This ceiling. This is an investment. We bought really low. I think that's a good comment. Name was saying he fell right into our laps by the grace of God this season. Okay, I like that. Duke saying when we picked Gradey, I was disappointed considering who was on the board at the time. But the more I looked at what he brings, the more I liked the pick. I trust the decision by the brass. I think Duke's very similar to me right now. I was slightly disappointed when Gradey walked out. And then I was kind of like, man, this is such a joke. Look at this cornball. But then more I was thinking about, all right, you can't be like this, Lex. You're the Raptors freak, and you got to support what Masai and Bobby do. So, that was part of the thinking there for sure. Cowboy saying, have a great day, Lex and the Raptors freaks. Thank you, Cowboy. Have a great day, Bradley. Be safe out there. Marlon saying, who said the draft doesn't matter? Denver just won championship and bought in a pocket in the draft to good late draft, deep draft. Yeah, they ended up getting a pick at some point and getting some players. Who did they end up getting? Denver. Denver came in late, and I actually was really impressed with who they ended up getting. Wait, where is that? Oh, it's the second round. I got to look at the second round. They got Maxwell Lewis, the guy that I liked. That's exactly. See, Denver came and took my pick of the draft, Maxwell Lewis. They traded to get into the draft, and they went and got Maxwell Lewis. Good eye, Marlon Toby. I forgot about that because I was like, Maxwell Lewis did go into the second round, but Denver picked him up. Very, very cool stuff. Duke saying, just based on look, clean-cut, baby face, probably non-athletic white boy wants my first impression, and I feel this is the impression bias many have had when we draft him. I feel he will shock Raptors Nation. I love that prediction, Duke, and I hope you're right, Jay. I really, really do. I think you're exactly right, too. And I may have fell for it myself. Isaac saying I'm in Oklahoma now. All right. And Iceman will get the last comment today, guys, real quick. Iceman LeGervin saying Gradey Dick said that he couldn't wait to get to Toronto tomorrow to kick it and have a good time. Not to get into the gym and get to work. On Yahoo Sports interview with Kristen Peak. I know. I'm a little worried about that. Well, he better be serious and get down to the gym. You go have fun with Drake. Do your fun with Scottie. But get serious. If there's one thing Scottie learned about last summer and what he's doing about this summer is he's very serious about his off season and spending his time wisely in trying to be more conditioning and getting things ready for the season. Well, Gradey, follow the lead of young Scott Wayne Barnes when you show up. You have leaders here that will show you how to be a proper pro. And maybe all your talk about being friends with Drake and your extracurriculars and stuff, you can get away with it for right now because it's very early on. But you may need to be molded into a more professional as far as putting in the work like a man like SIAKAM does. Once you see what Pascal does, Gradey, you may realize you have a lot of work to do, and you may want to fall right in line with the rest of them like that. That's right. Monique saying, W stream, W pick all around. Keep up the great work. Always good times. Thank you, super fan Monique Lawrence. I am so grateful and appreciative to have you grace your presence on our channel all the time. You are a big part of it. Monique, Iceman, all of you, thank you for being here with me today. Fantastic stuff. Talking about our 13th pick, Gradey Dick. So happy about it. Also very excited about Marquis Nowell showing up as the undrafted two-way player signed last night by the Raptors late last night. Good job, Bobby Webster, talking to the press and answering questions about our draft pick last night. Sure, the man looked like a red disco ball last night, but he also looked like a wave of the future Kind of like a kid that would be in an 80s commercial, a new wave Coke. Coke is it, baby. Gradey Dick is it. He's the pick. He's in. He's our new sharpshooter coming to Toronto to be a broski of Mr. Scott Wayne Barnes. Let's get on board with the pick, y'all. And trust in Messiah and Bobby that this guy's going to be fun to watch for the Raptors. The entertainment value has just gone up. So, y'all, stay tuned tomorrow. Saturday, Share the Love Club for Matt Devlin, our great beloved announcer of the Raptors. He is laid out in a hospital bed with a broken foot. Let's give him some good cheer and good vibes tomorrow on the Saturday Share the Love Club. Come in and tell us some things about why you love and appreciate our great play-by-play announcer, Matt Devlin of the Raptors. All right, y'all. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Riho, prayers to you also. Thank you for being here, McLovin. And I hope y'all have a great day. Let's go Raptors. Gradey Dick is the man that we picked yesterday. That's right. Let's go, Gradey. Let's go, Gradey. Yeah.